Welcome everyone to the 2026 Pokemon World Championships here in San Francisco. Competitors have been competing all weekend long, preparing for exactly this day, Championship Sunday, and we are here in the Chase Center Arena. We are going to be starting with Pokemon Unite, but we got all the Pokemon titles here, and we are going to be crowning champion after champion on that stage. Welcome, everybody. This is your pre-show. I am Zoinks, joined by Wonder Chef Danley and Soap-chan. We're going to be talking all things World Championships as the crowd starts pouring in. What's going on? It's early in the morning, but we have incredible Pokemon action to be breaking down. And what a weekend it's been. Wonder Chef, how fun has this World Championships been?
It's been amazing, and there's so much to go today. First, we're starting off with Pokemon Unite. Of course, we all here on the desk are very excited about that, the Grand Finals. And then we're going over to Pokemon Go Grand Finals right after that, followed, of course, by the 3 different spots for TCG and then VGC a little bit later on. Of course, it's going to be Junior, Senior, and Masters. So lots of action throughout the entire day. I know that Zoinks, you and I both love all of the games, and I know we're very excited for it.
Oh yeah, Championship Sunday, you can't miss a single moment. And I mean, that's been the case for the Pokemon Unite Championship Series as well. Our tournament has been unbelievable. It has been a lot of fun, and the landscape of Pokemon Unite has been changing quite a bit this year, leading up to this Championship Sunday moment. Danley, about this tournament, any favorite moments that you could think of that happened overall?
Look, I think we have to be completely realistic here. The entire tournament has been my favorite experience. Like, this is the grand finale for Pokemon Unite, because for anyone that is unaware, this is our last ever championship at Worlds. After this, we will no longer be around. So we're crowning our last champion. We're basically experiencing the best of the best we could ever have for Pokemon Unite. And I mean, we've had an incredible weekend. We have had so many upsets. We assume that our top teams are going to be making it to the grand final, but time and time again, our underdogs coming in and surprising us with some incredible plays.
Yes, that is so true, Danley, because we saw earlier in the tournament, Fennel, one of the highest contenders that we had before going into Worlds, getting eliminated. Then we saw Root Dignitas, #1 for North America, getting eliminated. And then we saw teams like Exist climbing up. Zeta Division, of course, they were our 2nd place last year in 2025, but they weren't performing as great in their own region in Japan, but completely stepped up when it came to Championship Sunday right now, as they got themselves to. Of course, Kamai has been so incredibly powerful, being the 1st seed in Europe, did incredibly well, almost undefeated in groups. Going into the bracket stage, they defeated Grêmio Esports in the semis, much like Zeta Division defeated Exist. And here we are now, Zoinks.
Yeah, we got our 2 finalists set. You can see it on the bracket there. Zeta Division from Japan versus Komai from EU. And let's start breaking down these teams. Zeta Division are going to be the first of our competitors to take the stage. Midopo, Nomu, Rom, Misutama, and Resta. And fans of the Pokemon Unite Championship Series, specifically at Worlds, will recognize a couple of those names. Zeta Division, the runner-ups from last year's World Championships. 2 of those players are the same as that last year roster, and they have a 2nd chance to take a World Championship title, the final one available.
That's right. You know, I feel like we're going to hear a little bit something similar to that for the next team after this, but I've got to talk about this. I said it so much on broadcast yesterday, but of course, for everyone out there who isn't as familiar with Pokemon Unite, the story of Zeta is ridiculous. Not only are they returning into this arena, into this grand champion potential spot, but they only qualified out of Japan in the 5th place spot, when normally there would only be 3 places. There were 2 teams that were extremely strong that qualified through the other qualifier for everybody, kind of a last chance-ish qualifier called ACL, that qualified in 1st and 2nd place. They both took their spots and moved them down because they were both Japanese teams. And then both of those teams lost, one of them to Zeta. So the only reason that Zeta's even here is because the entire region was so strong, and then they fought up through that region from the final place to make it into our top 2, potentially our final world champion.
Right. I kind of want to add on to this as well. We did have an opportunity to talk to the Japanese casters, right? They're very passionate about their region. And apparently even the Japanese community was surprised that Zeta was able to make it so far in the tournament. Everyone thought it was going to be Fennel. Everyone thought it was going to be Reject. But after these 2 teams got knocked out, and all of a sudden we have Zeta coming into the grand finals, this wasn't something that the community originally anticipated. And knowing Japan, they rally behind their teams as they make it into the grand final. So you know Zeta is going to have huge community support, especially coming into such an important matchup in their entire career.
So true. And honestly, when we talked to Shinohara, one of the Japanese casters, such a great person and incredible crew that they have there with TPC, the Pokemon company in Japan. Honestly, it was incredible to hear from them, just the storylines that Japan has really built all throughout 2026. And like you said, so many strong teams. Their 5 teams made it into Worlds, just as strong as that. They made it into the bracket stage as well. And there were so many Japanese teams that they had to face each other in multiple moments of this bracket stage, if I'm not mistaken, quarters and then semis as well, Zoinks.
Yeah, it was a long road for them, but same for that other roster that we want to be talking about on that world stage. Out of EU will be Komai Esport. Gatlu, Toast, Gek, Narami, and Adesu. We can hear the crowd going wild for this roster all bracket day long in day number 2. And Gatlu and Adesu, 2 players who were members of Nouns Esports in year 1, who had a chance at a world championship, ended up being runners-up in London in 2022.
Right, amazing that we now have 2 teams that both have players on them that were runners-up. The first Worlds and now the last Worlds, or I should say the second to last Worlds, you know, getting that opportunity now for the final Worlds, they will be facing off. One of them will finally achieve that dream, that revenge match of being able to become the world champion. We'll see which of those 2 can be. My favorite moment of the tournament right there. Gatlu and Adesu, I love it so much. The storyline, though, of course, of Komai as well, really interesting. I kind of felt like they weren't bad the entire time, but the rest of the season, maybe they weren't quite as strong as they're showing in Worlds, which obviously has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have to be driven now. They're here. They're going into grand finals. We are going to be going for a complete reset. There is no advantage for anybody. And knowing Adesu, I saw one of Adesu's tweets last night, and he said he's broken the top 8 curse.
Yeah.
He's motivated. He's got that energy. He has Gatlu to also be there to back him up. I had a quick chat with Gatlu right after the show yesterday, and I saw the fire in his eyes. You know, that instinct, that killer look to say that title is mine, and to know that this is his last chance to claim that title. I think they're just going to go all out in today's grand final.
Love to see that fire. What are you thinking about Komai, so?
Well, honestly, I think they have been so consistent, right? First seed in regional league, they did incredibly well, but we know as well that the competition when it comes to regional, going into international, going into world stage is a completely different beast. And the way that Komai has been handling all of these team fights has been just so focused, determined, and they have a strategy that works. And their strategy is we have so much available in our options, the Pokemon pool, and everything that they can use that they can adapt really well. And I believe that when I spoke to them, they were saying, well, it's very interesting because this meta is so versatile, it's just so wide that when you prepare, you're like, wow, there's so many options. You need to be completely confident that you can deal with any threat.
Exactly. Prepare for everything. Prepare for every opponent. Well, there's only one more to prepare for on this grand final stage. We want to give a bit of a heads up to everybody in the crowd as well. World Championships is going to be going on all day. Have some very exciting announcements for Pokemon coming up throughout the event, so make sure to stay tuned for every title all day long. But for those of you here in the arena, Remember, we love to cheer on our competitors and get them started at the beginning of every match. In Pokemon Unite, we hit a ready go before every single game. You'll see it on screen. We would love to get you to join in karaoke style. Hit the ready, hit the go, and encourage our players to start the match. You can see here we got a screen right now of the crowd predicting who is going to come away the champion. Currently, Zeta Division leading, but feel free to use that QR code and join the conversation. But I think it might be time for us to start beginning that conversation. We got a grand finals up and coming, and we are on the analyst desk, which sometimes means we have to make some difficult decisions. So it's time for us to do our predictions. We will begin. I introduced the segment, so I may as well start. I'm agreeing with the crowd. I am going Zeta Division along with Danley, and the rest of the crew is going with Komai from EU. Wonder Chef, how are you feeling about Komai?
You know, current chef, it's so torn, right? Current chef is so torn. Zeta is amazing. Kamai is so good. And both of them are pulling off upsets the entire weekend. But as you can see on there, the picture of 2022 chef that hasn't been updated in 5 years really likes Kamai, really loves Gatlu, really loves Adesu. I mean, just such a fun team. And I do feel like, of course, we got to be a little bit biased. As I would just love to see EU finally take a spot at Worlds. Japan has won World Championship, and I do absolutely love Zeta, love the entire Japanese scene, but it would just be such an amazing story.
All right, and then defend our pick of Zeta Division,
I thought I was going to be outnumbered. I was told originally, like, hey, everybody's picked Kamai. I was like, do I say Zeta Division? So I had to say it, you know. But ultimately, I would have loved to have supported both teams. But I think at the end of the day, my heart is telling me Zeta Division, because as much as I love Komai, I kind of feel like between the two teams, Zeta, they seem to be a lot more composed in these very high-stress situations. And I think yesterday was a really great example of Zeta testing that resolve. They were about to get knocked out of the tournament. They dropped 2 games, it was a best of 5, and they came back with a 3-game reverse sweep. A lot of teams might have collapsed under the pressure, losing 2 games back-to-back in a best of 5, but they said, that's okay, we reset, going into game number 3, they get that one, and things start to pick up, the momentum picks up, they start to look really good, they're very quick with the draft, so you can tell that Zeta, once they have that momentum, this team is deadly.
The power of the reverse sweep is so incredible heading into Championship Sunday. So yesterday, you had the opportunity to talk to so many of our players on that stage with interviews. You caught a little bit of a vibe from a lot of these players, I'm sure. You go in with Komai. So what is leading you in that prediction?
So funnily enough, I would say that my position here for Kamai Zoinks is more towards what I've watched on in-game, more than it is even from talking to them, because these are players that we have been knowing them for so many years now through Championship Series, that I was trying to, try to get the bias away, because I'm usually very unbiased, right? No region whatsoever that I am, preferring during tournaments, but I decided to be a little more unbiased than usual. So trying to look more objectively onto just the games, the drafts. I totally agree with you, Danley. I've been torn as well, Chef, in regards to these 2 teams and who would I choose, because they are incredibly strong on their own. The way they fought through group stage and bracket was impressive, and that 3 reverse sweep was amazing. But Kamai just felt more cohesive, I would say.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a good breakdown. I think both these teams have so much to offer on this grand final stage. If you are watching this event, you are in for a treat. The final Pokemon Unite World Championships are about to begin, and what follows after that is also going to be incredible. Finals for every single game here in the Chase Center. So exciting. The stage behind me is remarkable. Absolutely incredible. We have a wonderful, wonderful event set up for you, and these competitors are getting set as well. This grand final is going to be so exciting. We're split on our predictions. So is the crowd. This is going to be so unbelievably fun. I can't wait to get into this one. Thank you to our analyst desk. I'll have one more fist pound down the line. Let's send it over.
At the start of a new day, looking out on a new adventure. No one knows where the road will take us. Ready, set, 'cause now it's time to go. Maybe we can finally see who we're meant to be. Every step of the way tells a story. Every challenge will show us who we are. Now we ride side by side to glory. Together you and I will touch the stars, and then we'll do it all over again. 'Cause even if we lose our way, we'll always say, here we go. Here we go again. And it's even better than last time. Here we go. Here we go again.
welcome to the Pokemon World Championships. Trainers from across the globe have spent the past year in relentless pursuit of one goal, becoming a Pokemon World Champion. It all comes down to this. This is Championship Sunday. Of more than 2,000 trainers, only 24 remain, each with one final opportunity to claim the most coveted title in all of competitive Pokemon, World Champion. Broadcasting to you live from San Francisco, California, who's ready for Championship Sunday? Take a look above you and witness the banners featuring champions from last year. And this year's finalists hope to achieve the same honor across Pokemon champions, the Pokemon trading card game, Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Unite. It's time for us to stop talking history and start making it. Let's get this show on the road with our first featured title of the day, Pokemon Unite.
Solo, and it's Talon! I think this is reject. I think they have it. It's the Take again! The Icy Wind Glaceon! 3 KOs in a row all the way down, and they secure. Narami takes it down. The kid makes the magic happen, and Komai is humming. They are a team, undeterred, undenied. Evil Geniuses need to take a buff, as all 5 members of Zeta Division are glowing red.
But Vin stops Resta with the Underdog! Holy mackerel!
rewrite history, but only one can become the final Pokemon Unite World Champions.
Whether they pulled off a reverse sweep or a clean 3-0 to get here, both of our teams share a competitive spirit. It is time to meet our finalists for Pokemon Unite. First up, welcome to the stage, Komai. Give it up for Nirami, Toast, Gatlu, Adesu, and Gek. And for the opposition, we have Zeta Division. Get loud for Mizutama, Nomu, Rom, Resta, and Vitopo. Before we get into the matches, we have to get a word from the players themselves. Over on the side of Komai, this is the first appearance on the stage for Europe since the first World Championship. What does it mean to represent your region in such a fashion?
It means a lot. I hope it means a lot for everyone in Europe. But right now, today, it's just me and my teammates.
And Zeta Division is no stranger to the final stage. How have you and your team been preparing to ensure it's a championship finish this time around?
今回は2年目で経験あるんだけどどのような準備をしてきた？
そうですね、去年の敗北の経験を生かして、自分たちなりに努力して、最高の形で決勝の舞台を迎え入れることを、目標にやってきたので、絶対に優勝できるように頑張ります。
We've been doing everything we can to prepare for this moment, and we're dead set on victory.
Victory is in the air for one of these teams. I won't hold you any longer. Feel free to make your way to your battle stations and join the rest of your teammates to prepare for your matches. Best of luck, everybody. And with that, it takes the best of the best to get us ready for this matchup. Let's hear from our casters for Pokemon Unite.
Hello, Cowboy. Whether you've been watching Unite from day number 1 or this is the first time you're tuning in for Pokemon Unite at the World Champions, it's our World Championship. It's our last time, so let's have a good time. Showtime.
Yeah, it's showtime. This is the last one. We will crown our final champion, and it means no matter what, we're leaving here today, so we can kind of do whatever we want. We can pop up again if we want. Whoa! We'll do that a lot.
It's going to be, how far off can we get? Am I off? Nope.
You're off.
Yeah, we're good. We figured it out. We're just testing the range here. It's going to be important because Unite has a ton of energy to it. We bring a lot of energy to it because that's what it deserves, and we need a lot of real estate to move, as you can see.
That's right. If this is your first time watching Unite, it's a 5 versus 5 competitive battler, action-packed matches. That is what you are going to see the entirety of Championship Sunday, with, again, 2 teams who are looking to become a first-time champion with multiple members who have come this close. Last year, Zeta Division loses in the Grand Finals in Anaheim. In our first year of competition, 2 members of Komai come this close, but they go down to North America. And now one of them will get that final moment, that final trophy. They will become our final champion.
They get to finish writing their story. For one of these teams, they leave in shambles, and the other one, they're going to be crowned champion. But of course, these teams don't get as far as they do without the support of their friends and family. So we have a friends and family interview for you right now. Take it away.
And hello there, everybody. We are here to ask some questions. We have Sari, the coach of Zeta Division, and Zara, a fan of Kamai Esports. So, Sari, first question to you. What's it been like watching Zeta Division perform this weekend?
今週末のゼータディビジョンのパフォーマンスについてどう思いますか？
いやもうめっちゃ強くて、もう安心して今日も見れます。
They've been so strong, I feel really confident watching them play.
Thank you so much for that. And same to you, Zara. I know we have seen you out in the crowd cheering for Kamari each time they are playing on the stage. What's it been like getting to watch them perform?
This is just a dream come true. I think this is a very, very happy moment for us. I think we're really, really proud of them. Let's go, Kamai.
Let's go, Kamai. Feeling proud. Now back to you, Sari. This is Zeta Division's second chance to play in the grand finals with Vivatopo and Rom being on that stage last year. How does it feel seeing them up there once again to have a second chance at that world championship position?
ゼータディビジョンが決勝に2回目たどり着けたことについてどう思いますか？
いや、彼らは去年2位という結果に満足せずにここまで必死に頑張ってきたので、今年は絶対優勝できると思ってます。
So last year they ended up second place, but they didn't get comfortable and they worked really hard to get back here, so I'm really excited to see them.
Yes, hard work. They have definitely worked hard indeed. Now, Zara, back to you again. You have been there supporting EU region for quite some time. How has it been feeling seeing Gatlu and Adesu have that second chance spot at getting that World Championship title alongside Kamai?
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I was there to watch them at Worlds in London when they were in the finals, and unfortunately they couldn't make it, but I think this time they can definitely make it. I have a lot of faith in them. They've worked so hard. I've seen it like with myself, and they're just, I believe in them. They can do it.
Thank you. It's been wonderful to hear from both of you here today. Any final words of encouragement you'd like to give to the team?
選手の方に最後の応援メッセージかなんかでやりますか？
もう最高に楽しんで楽しくプレーしてほしいです。
I just really want them to have fun and play hard.
And same for you, Zara. Any words of encouragement you would like to give to Kamai Esports?
We're all proud of you, Komai. We know you can do it. Let's go, Komai win.
Thank you so much, Sari and Zara. We're going to go throw it back to the casters to get this action started.
Thank you very much, Kello. It is almost time. The stage is set. The 2-time runner-ups on both sides. For Zeta Division, they were the 5th seed team out of Japan. Count it out, even though they are the strongest region in our game, it looked like there were many Japanese teams that were going to go deeper in this tournament, but Zeta would not quit. They fought the entire way through, coming back to secure their spot in the grand finals on a reverse sweep after losing the first 2 games. And on the other side, Dupe Snacks, we have Komai.
Yeah, players that have been around the game for a very long time, of course, in Adesu Gatlu and their captain, Gek. And then they got the 2 young upstarts there, Narami and Toast, really bringing and throwing life and energy into this team. Both of these squads on what I like to consider a Cinderella run here. Nobody really put all their money on them to be the final 2 teams to make it, but here we are. All these teams needed was a chance, and they absolutely snatched that opportunity.
No question about it. There were so many amazing teams showing up to this competition. Huge teams like the top squad out of Japan getting eliminated first in day 2. Our former world champions going down first match of day 2 as well on their side. Just incredible the entire way through. A story you would never expect, but a perfect ending for Pokémon Unite. 2 teams that were so close to hoisting that championship trophy. One of them will now walk away as the final Pokémon Unite champion.
That is without a doubt. Just one best of 5 separates 5 players from their championship title that they've been yearning for. Again, Zeta Division on the doorstep last year. 2 of their players, Vitopo and Rome, just falling short against Peru Unite. And on the other side, you have Komai and Adesu and Gatlu in London falling just shy in the World Championship chase of that year. Everybody has the opportunity to correct the record and again, stamp themselves not only as a Pokémon Unite World Champion, but the final Pokémon Unite World Champion.
You know, I think a lot of what happens here is going to be decided early on in these matches. In fact, it's going to be decided before the match. In this draft screen, we're going to find out what Pokemon they're going to be bringing into battle. And I have a feeling that the team that outdrafts the other, outpicks the other, outskills the other in what they are bringing to Thea Sky Ruins will be the team that wins the entire thing.
Yeah, typically when you draft better, play better, and execute better, you tend to win. So that strategy makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's the kind of analysis people go here
right, that's why we're here.
You know, if you play better, you end up winning, and I've always said that.
Yeah, you know, if you want to play not good, that is not the way to get yourself across that finish line if your goal is to be champion, which I'm pretty sure that's the goal of both these teams.
Taking a look at our crowd here in San Francisco. The Chase Center is going to be filled throughout this day for all of our incredible competition from our multiple titles. And we have a ton of people here ready to crown our final Unite champion. Something we do here for Pokemon Unite that, let's be honest, we stole from the Japanese casters is the Ready Go. At the start of our match, we see the Ready Go at the beginning, and we are all going to do that here together. So in just a moment, we are going to test it here and get a little energy from you in San Francisco.
We're going to have a fly through of the Thea Sky Ruins. It's going to cut to a screen with the 10-minute timer clocked up, and then it goes into the Ready Go. We're going to have a couple, well, at least one practice round here. We're getting told it's ready, so let's get into it. We'll do this together. Again, we'll have the flyover. As soon as you see the 10-minute timer, it's Ready Go. Let's get into it. Let's give it a whirl. Little test run here. Beautiful Thea Sky Ruins. Ready Go!
That's right, San Francisco. That's what we're going to be doing the entire time. Oh, and it looks like they were playing. For a second there, I thought it was a real match. I was freaking out.
I was hearing my voice and I was like, am I talking? What is going on here? I know I have all the faith in the world that the fans in the stands are going to be able to deliver the energy that these teams want to hear and feel being in the Chase Center. And of course, let's give them a little pep in that step by being active participants.
That's right, bringing the energy to this. And we can see our players right now practicing, getting ready for this match here. Zoroark is a Pokemon that I'm going to have my eye on. I really do feel like if Komai allows this Pokemon onto the battlefield, it will be a huge problem. Vitopo qualified basically because of this Pokemon. The high skill level of that player and the top level play on that Pokemon.
Without a doubt. I mean, when you're looking at Zeta Division, it's really tough to say that their run was not absolutely anchored by Vitopo going into that hyper carry mode. You mentioned Zorark. We've also seen them do it on Urshifu, the rapid strike Urshifu, or as we like to call it, the blue Shifu, hitting those crazy combos with the Unite move. I've never seen a tally as high as Vitopo yesterday on this Blue Bear, getting 49 hits off that Unite move.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a matchup here. And then on the other side, when you take a look at Komai, they've had some incredible plays throughout the day. Some hero saves last night by Adesu on their team. Adesu playing in that attacker role. A lot of Pokemon that we've seen throughout this tournament. Espeon has been a huge one. But Adesu bringing out the Mewtwo Wai. This Pokemon incredibly strong, but not seen as much in the competition lately. Adesu, however, making huge hero plays on the Mega Mewtwo.
Yeah, I mean, just the mobility or escapability that Mewtwo Wai has, especially through those 2 dashes, right? It can dash, then dash again. And of course, it goes into that unstoppable mode when it's lining up that big Psy Strike, which deals damage and has a stun associated with it. So it's a great engagement tool. It's a great disengagement tool. And overall, its Unite move, that infinite Psyburn from space that just reigns supreme on the heads of their opponent, is a great way to start or end a battle.
Yeah, and so many powerful picks that these two teams are going to be fighting over. A Pokemon that has gotten so much priority lately in the Unite Championship Series is Sirfetch'd. Played in that top path, got Lu on it most of the day yesterday for Komai, having some incredible games. But when you recognize your opponent has a strength in a Pokemon, there are a couple things you can do. You can ban it away from them, and you can also pick it for yourself, as no 2 Pokemon will be the same in our matches.
Yeah, of course, as we go through our ban phase here, there's going to be 3 bans per side, and then we go into the snake draft order. So it'll be 1 pick 2, 2 and 2, 2 1, and that's going to round out your teams of 5 to make sure that these teams are able to square away. A lot of teams prefer that first pick. On the other hand, a lot of the best teams like that last pick, where they've got as much information as possible that they can make that big counter pick to counter punch inside that 10-minute game.
That's right. There are so many different strategies when it comes to the Pokemon you are picking and the order you want to play them in. And it also is based on which map you are playing on. Right. It depends if you're on Thea Sky Ruins with Groudon in the middle, Kyogre, Rayquaza. Each one lends itself to a different strategy. Kyogre map, you might be seeing Pokemon that are a little tankier than others. Some things really high HP, because if you get that Kyogre buff, it's incredibly difficult to take them down. Meanwhile, Groudon giving you all of that crazy attack damage. Some of the more powerful carry Pokemon may be played on that map.
Without a doubt. And again, we will see all our maps here because it is a best of 5, and we'll be cruising through those as we are watching, again, these players warm up as they get ready to battle in a best of 5 for the World Championship title.
It's going to be incredible when they get to face off. Obviously, the nerves between these two squads must be intense with everything on the line here. Not only is everything on the line looking for the championship, but this is our final championship series match. This will be the last time Pokemon Unite crowns a champion here at Worlds. You want to be the final champion. You don't want to miss your final shot.
As we have another pan of the crowd here, they're getting anxious. I know I'm getting a little anxious. I want to see these teams scrap it out and get into the action, and we will be in there shortly. Until then, though, we've got some stats.
Take a look at the top Pokemon by ban rate throughout this tournament. So these are things that both teams say, okay, it's not coming out onto the battlefield. No shocker here. One of the recent releases to our game, the Feraligatr, getting our top ban, followed by Comfey. Feraligatr, incredibly powerful, crazy amounts of burst damage, especially with its Unite move and its attack crunch. And then Comfey, one of the most difficult supporters to shut down. It can just hop onto a Pokemon and basically act as if another version of it, just giving it more HP, giving it more speed, huge shields. It's so tough to fight.
On down the line, Blissey, Zacian, Snorlax, and Mew. Feraligatr, worth mentioning, so strong that the only game Gatlu didn't play Sirfetch'd is because Feraligatr was available, and at that point, he was pretty much no-lifing that Sirfetch'd. That's just how strong Feraligatr is when it's allowed into that draft screen.
Yeah. powerful Pokemon that neither team wants to see here. Snorlax being a real top defender, and now we're going to see the Pokemon that make it through. So even though Snorlax, Mew, top banned, Zacian as well, also when they are not banned, they are picked almost every time they can be. Blastoise has been an absolute menace this weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Blastoise has been the top Pokemon by pick rate on this screen for every year, for the last like 3 years. It is so strong. I mean, both kits, right? You can Rapid Spin and Hydro Pump, and you can have those big surfs if you're playing a more true defender style. And of course, that big swirling Unite, that Hydro Typhoon, which has the capacity to get big knockups on multiple members on the opposing team, and often is curtains if you hit multiple targets.
Yeah, you'll notice that our top Pokemon by pick right here, 3 of them are in that sort of defender support core, Blastoise, Snorlax, and Psyduck. All incredibly powerful and all sort of filling more of that tanky defender role, even though Psyduck is a support. These are playmaker Pokemon. They're so difficult to fight. They're not the ones in there doing the damage. We do see a few of those here too. Mew from long range. Espeon is one of kind of the best attackers in that bottom path. Then we have Zacian, incredibly powerful, not shocked at all that it is one of our top encounter rates. Almost every top path player in our game has this in their repertoire.
Without a doubt. So encounter rate, if you're new again to Pokemon Unite, means it was either picked or banned, which means it showed up in the draft screen in some capacity. So for Alligator leading the charge, unsurprising. If it's not banned, you better believe it's getting picked. It is just so strong.
Yeah, and down the line, Blastoise, Snorlax, Mew, and Psyduck. Mew is one of those attackers that it is getting some bans, especially when you know that there's a powerful Mew player on the other side. But with only 3 bans per team, it's sometimes hard to target ban exactly what's on the other side. For instance, Zeta Division, so many powerful choices. They have the Zoroark. Yesterday, Latios and Latias on their side, especially played in tandem, so difficult to deal with, and they were bringing that out. But you can only ban so many things. You can only take away their Blastoise and their Zoroark. It's just, there's so many options right now. The meta feels incredibly diverse.
It really does, right? Gek actually said it in an interview yesterday. The game is so balanced right now that a team can bring a strategy that you never even considered, and you just go, oh no, that can actually work, and we're not ready for that. And a perfect example is the Galarian Rapidash they had to face down. It gave them so many problems, they ended up just having to ban it because in their book of strategies, they didn't have anything to combat that.
That's right, Komai almost knocked out of our tournament, I believe in our top 8. As they were running into C2 from Japan, playing Galarian Rapidash, and they had no answer for it.
None.
One answer that you do have, of course, is that draft screen, and they were able to get rid of it, and they were able to beat that team. But if you could just find the Pokemon that your opponents can't counter, if they don't have time to figure out exactly what they're going to do about it, and they don't ban it, that could be a way that you win, Dukes.
Without a doubt. I mean, you have to not be afraid to just take the tough thing off the table. You know, sometimes it feels bad to use a ban on a Pokemon that is not considered S tier or the best thing going. But hey, if your team can't deal with it, just get it out of there and then face the next problem head on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what these teams are going to have to decide as they start to head towards these matches. As we mentioned, so many powerful picks that you really only get to pick a few things that you don't want to see. You can ban it, you can steal it away from your opponents, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to face something powerful by a top-level player. And as we've mentioned, so many of these players with so much to prove here. Some of them, their first time on a world stage like this. And again, others, this is their second time. Not a single champion amongst them yet, but there will be in just a short best of 5.
We're taking a look at Komai. You know, their Achilles heel has always been that top 8. They finally broke through that ceiling and then breezed through the top 4 into this grand finals. Can they keep up that pace? And it's really tough to contend with the momentum of a reverse sweep 2 on the side of Zeta Division. So both of these teams really finishing yesterday strong and in a commanding fashion, leading them to this moment and set up for success. And now it all boils down to execution.
Yeah, I wonder which you'd rather have, walking through on a 3-0 victory, feeling strong, or recognizing that your team is the kind of team that can adjust and pull out a victory when you absolutely need it by winning the reverse sweep. Well, that is what Zeta Division out of Japan did. They were down 2-0. It looked like they were going to be heading home. I think most people thought they were the weaker team, but they found another level. They changed their strategy. They went in there with what they play best, and they absolutely crushed the next 3 games.
Without a doubt. And when you think about Zeta Division and Komai, we keep saying they've both been runner-ups before. That being said, Zeta Division's finals run, grand finals run, was a much stronger showing than the last time Komai's players made the world stage. They got absolutely rinsed in 2022, straight up 3-0, curtains, pack them up, send them home. Zeta Division, on the other hand, took Peru to the limit, and yes, they went down in 4 games, 3-1. However, every single one of those games was balanced on a knife's edge.
The thing I worry about for both of these squads is what happens to the team who loses that first game. You know, for Zeta Division, they won their first game against Peru, and then Peru came back, figured them out, and were able to take them down. Komai, if they start to lose their first game, are they going to fall back into that year one? What happened there where they just seem to fall into this quicksand and not be able to pull themselves out? We're going to have to see, but both of them have proved through this tournament that they can win when they are behind. And it's one of the most exciting things that you can see in Unite. A reverse sweep happens all the time, and there's nothing I'd rather see in these grand finals than a Game 5. We have never had one on Championship Sunday.
All right, you can go ahead and scan that QR code to see yourself on the video board. Go ahead and get your phone out there, Cowboy.
I'll scan it. Maybe I'll get on the video board.
I'm concerned that we haven't been on camera enough. Been looking at our graphics. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's actually really cool. I did not anticipate that. Are we on? Are we going in? That would be so
I'm trying
sick.
to get in right now. Can you imagine the ego on the two of us? Can we get on the video board that we're already on?
It's loading up. We'll get there in a moment.
It's loading up. It's something that we actually do care a lot about.
Well, it's our last go here at the Pokemon Unite World Championships. Let's have a little fun. What do you think? The camera is on, but are we on the screen? Just leave it open. I'll keep talking, or you can talk.
Taking a look at our crowd here in San Francisco. I know we are all excited and hyped to get into our match as our players are getting ready on the big stage. Once Unite gets started, it goes pretty fast, guys, with 10-minute matches, extremely fast-paced, all leading to this big fight in the middle over that Groudon, Kyogre, or Rayquaza.
And now I love that people are having their camera up, and just finding themselves on the Jumbotron. It's a very excellent thing. I'm glad we did that, especially for you and I, who are going to try and pepper that thing with our own presence all day long.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah,
we have to.
Put us on the screen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What about us? I think is what everybody at home is asking. I think that's what everybody is ultimately asking. Oh!
Hey!
Listen. They looked at us and they were like, listen, we know it's an arena and what you guys are thinking is obviously bigger capes, right? But we said, no, use that on Pikachu. It's going to make for great key art for our 30th anniversary of the game of Pokemon. So shout out to us for being so kind. Shout out to Pikachu for wearing that cape so darn well.
Yeah, Pikachu looks great on it. Obviously, we inspired that. And no, you are not seeing double unless you're seeing 4 of us. Then yes, you are seeing double.
You might be concussed.
You might be concussed, but we do look like the same person. We often get confused for each other.
It's great. The very first interaction I had here in San Francisco was, hey, Spraggles! And I was like, no, I'm the other guy. And then we both went, oh.
To be fair, when someone says, hey, Spraggles, and I'm like, hey, they go, oh. So it happens to me too.
Well, I'd like to think that at least somebody cares about us somewhere.
I think they're out there somewhere.
Orark, Ban, Vitopo's just prime pick. Blissey, Zacian, and then Feraligatr, Surfetch, Mimikyu. Toast on Mimikyu was going crazy yesterday. Now Nomu locking in the Crustler, something that Gek, as their defender player, loves to play.
Yeah, this phase of the game so important, Dupesnacks. We are stealing things away from our opponents. We are banning things away from them. Gek was amazing on Crustle, and now Zeta Division has that. Using the priority for that Espeon, it has been a power pick all weekend, especially when paired with Machamp, which is not currently banned.
No, and it's been terrific. So we'll see where Komai wants to invest. Gatlu going with the Quaquaval. Gek on the Snorlax has been a presence to contend with.
I absolutely love this Quaquaval pick. A recent addition to the game. And when a player gets ahead on this Pokemon, it is so difficult to shut down. Ooh, Bitopo on the other side, playing my absolute favorite, the three-headed bird, Dodrio. This speedster is incredibly powerful, especially when it comes to harassing your opponents, invading their central area, putting pressure on them all game. So you're going to look for that from Zeta.
Resta, again, on the Latios, worth mentioning. Rom immediately to Latios, going to take those planes to battle as Toast grabs there. It shows Scizor, but you can either be Scizor or Scyther, and Toast is most likely going to be Scyther here. Worth mentioning, Mizutama on this Mega Lucario. Great secure. Great rip on objectives. It's really, truly the meaning of an all-rounder and can help take over a game. Tell me about this Latios combination.
Yeah, they are powerful Pokemon. One the attacker Latios and one the supporter the Latias, but both of them do incredible damage. They work even better when they're together, getting increased move speed, the ability to fly to each other across the map, and a Unite move that combos together, dealing extra damage on the same target. And we saw Zeta use this yesterday perfectly. We're going to see if Komai has an answer for it. One Pokemon they did not want to see, and I'm not shocked, is that first ban. That is Zoroark. Zoroark from Bitopo was so incredibly powerful as our players are now loading in for our first match here of our grand finals. You can see the Pokemon selection up on the stage. What a time to be alive, Noob Snacks.
All right, we've got our flyover. We're gonna see that 10-minute. We're gonna get our ready go. Everybody, let's do it.
Here we go. Zeta Division. Komai. Our first match. Ready, go! Komai, your purple team. Zeta Division, your orange team. We are getting this thing started here in just 1 moment.
You know, better to pause when everybody's in base, right? Before things actually develop. You know, make sure it's all sorted out.
I'm not going to say that production did that to us on purpose because I yelled ready, go with a lot of energy, but I think they might have.
You know what? Just for the sake of the ready go, let's just remake the whole thing, right? Let's get us.
You want to start from the top?
Yeah, let's just
do pre-show again.
Yeah, all the way back to the top.
Back out here.
Let's do the warm-up. Let's do the practice. Let's get into our first game and hit them with another ready go. And I promise you, production will get us to that 10-minute thing that we said was going to happen, so we can all get into the ready go together.
You know, I'll tell you this: when this show goes live, and not this rehearsal that we're having right now,
right?
It's gonna be big.
It's gonna be so good.
I'm sorry, production. What?
How long?
This is live? Okay.
You know what? I am feeling anxiety right now. I can't imagine being in the seats of those players who are now at this point been waiting all night, all morning, gearing up for this moment. And just when they think they're going to get into the Thea Sky Ruins and start rocking and rolling, we've got a quick hit pause. That being said, I'd much rather have it happen when both teams are in home base than in some pivotal, critical moment in the middle of the game. So let's get this sorted to make sure that we are keeping this competition above board and we can crown our true champion with no asterisks.
No question about it. We want to make sure that these matches are perfect as we are taking a look at our stage right there. I absolutely love it. And that is going to be changing throughout the day for all of our titles. This is going to be a very special day of competition. The most incredible stage set here for Pokemon's 30th anniversary in San Francisco, and they really have gone all out.
They absolutely have. I want you all to know that in that middle table with the 2 chairs, Spraggles and I tried to allow them for us to cast from there, and they said absolutely not.
There's no way we are doing that. I can't believe you even asked.
I said, what % chance do we have? They said an absolute 0%.
If it was a negative, we'd give it to you.
It's a 0%.
That's what they said.
Well, according to our stats team, you can round to 0 and you can round to 100. We'll see if we can get that shaken out for our final Pokemon Unite competition match right now.
This is one of those tough moments where, of course, these players getting into this game, they're ready for it, but they are now put on ice here for a second. This does give you the opportunity to refocus really discuss what happened in your draft screen
Sure.
and recognize some mistakes that you may have made outside of the pressure of running right back into another game. So before we have the information about what happened, you can say, we really didn't expect them to immediately steal Crustle from us. That's something we're gonna have to prepare for.
Yeah, I mean, especially something that I don't think Komai has scrapped up against this tournament too much, which is the Latios combination.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, these high-level players are familiar with what all these characters can do. However, this is a great opportunity to use this pause and look, hey, we might be on ice for a second, but we can use this to gain momentum, at least strategically, getting into this game and making sure that we're checking all those early game boxes so that we can execute on our game plan.
You know, we talked a little bit about some of these team compositions. I love that you can see them up on the stage right there. As we're looking at the composition here from Zeta, the Dodrio, the Mega Lucario, Crustle, and the Latios back to the other side. Espeon, Quaquaval, Snorlax, the Scizor, which will probably be Scyther, and Psyduck. When you look at these two teams, it feels like Komai needs to win fights, right?
Yes.
But we have opportunities on the side of Zeta Division to not necessarily win a fight, but win a huge objective. You have crazy burst damage from this Latios. You have Dodrio that can be extremely aggressive, surprising with all of its mobility. And then, of course, Mega Lucario, probably the scariest thing on their side, because if you leave Mega Lucario alone for just a moment on an objective, it will use its Unite move, go Mega, and then rip through it before there is much you can do about it. If Komai is not careful, even if they're playing well, and they take their eye off the ball for just a moment, Zeta can steal the match from them.
Without a doubt. So when you think about Dodrio, it actually plays the game in a much different way compared to a lot of other characters. It has high mobility. The way it scores is actually in pieces. It's split up into 3, 1 for each head, of course. And because of that, it scores incredibly quick.
Yep.
And it can really flank easily because it has such high speed. So it's one of those things, if you take your eye off the ball, you can lose track of that Dodrio, and then it's right behind you dealing massive damage on a flank. And then Mega Lucario is in your face with that close combat and that big power-up punch. You mentioned Quaquaval is incredibly strong if it gets ahead. But if you look at the side of Zeta Division, Dodrio can give it fits, and so can that Mega Luca. So just a small investment on the side of Zeta to make sure one of those characters is higher than Quaquaval, it could just become a 1v1 for the rest of the game. Like, my only goal is to make sure Gatlu does not get this thing online, and I think they'll find some success with that.
Well, with how well Gatlu was playing yesterday, there is a question as to who you're kind of trying to target on the other side, right? What player do you want to shut down the most? And if this Quaquaval gets online, gets its Unite move, starts dancing through some of these battles, it could be very, very tough for the side of Zeta. So that would be a good player to shut down. One that's going to be extremely hard is going to be a Desu on this Espeon. Espeon evolving at level 4, all of our EVs do in this game. They're so strong early. Espeon probably the strongest with the ability to secure easily with Psyshock.
Yeah, and not to mention, it could also go into that stored power, which we saw yesterday as well, which is pretty solid against Dodrio, right?
Yes.
Because stored power has that sure hit and can really track a Dodrio. So it helps at least mitigate some of that crazy mobility that Dodrio has to escape fights that it doesn't want to be in. So I'm going to be looking to a Desu to see how they cover. Let's talk about the support core of Komai, which has been critical. Gek, the captain of the team on that Snorlax, and very quietly, the kid Narami on this Psyduck has been having crazy psychic pulls. You put the disc down, and then you yank somebody out of the tall grass, and they've been setting up great KOs for their squad by doing that.
You know, you and I love to talk about the support cores of these teams because while all of these, carry Pokemon are flashy, they're picking up huge KO streaks, sometimes wiping out the entire enemy team. None of that happens without these playmaker Pokemon on their side. And we've seen huge plays from both of these teams. Gek in particular on Komai, I feel like has made some hero plays for the squad.
Absolutely has, right? And we keep talking about Gatlu, Adesu, Gek, and now Narami, but also there is Toast. And Toast, most primarily on the Mimikyu, we've seen them go across a couple things, of course going to be on the Scyther this game, also is a great shutdown player. Like, they can make huge plays. They're always pacing the other team as well and stressing them by attacking from different angles.
So amazing seeing this hype crowd here in the Chase Center, the arena filling up throughout our day. I've been told it seats almost 300 people. Wait, nope, I'm getting something else. 18,000 people. That was way off.
Yeah, you don't know numbers, my friend. Here's the good news. We might be game paused, but all that's doing is allowing for more people to file in and enjoy the experience of Pokemon Unite live here in the Chase Center. And it's an experience unlike any other that you will get today because this game is fast-paced action. No turn-based action here. We're all about the smoke once we get into the Thea Sky Ruins.
That's right. The texture of all of our games here on Championship Sunday is so interesting, exciting. Each one having their own flavor, and Unite, no question about it, is the most high energy of our titles. Non-stop action and battling throughout in our 10-minute matches here, Dupe Snacks, as we're taking a look at our hype crowd.
I love how the plushies were brought. Of course, there's Pikachu, who's using our capes from last year. We are representing our teams here. Zeta Division got the jacket on, got the jersey on, dripped out of control to support the squad as they make their run to championship gold.
Man, I absolutely love this stage.
It's awesome.
It's so cool what they were able to do with this. It's an even bigger step up from last year, which was already an amazing stage in the arena. This is just incredible.
What's that, production? You do want us to cast from the table in the middle. Amazing. Are we sure it's set up?
Should we run down there right now?
Right now.
Okay. What's that we're lying? Fair. Fair. Our game is being remade here to make sure that all of our players can get in, and then as soon as it is ready to go, we are going to head down to Thea Sky Ruins and watch them battle it out here in our first game of the best of 5. We've got one of the greatest signs. You have to Blissey ult me and only me, said by the legendary 2-time world champion Overlord.
I will secure. Also a great sign. And I've been watching those signs pop up throughout the fans all weekend long. And the energy, commitment, and passion that these fans have for this game cannot be denied. And you know what? I asked for the game to be remade so we can hit a hard, ready go. So let's make sure that we are now getting a second bite at this game 1 ready go apple. Let's make it a big one.
As our players are getting ready to head into the match right now. I always wonder with moments like these, you know, whether it's a technical issue, a player needs a moment or something like that, how that changes the mental state of these competitors as you're getting ready for this match. There's so much on the line here, and I don't know about you, Dupe Snacks, but I know for me, I would just want to be thrown into the deep end right away.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't want to bring up, you know, past history or old wounds, but if you recall, this same EU team with a lot of these players got stuck on ice on stage in the World Championships and fell apart afterwards, if you recall that. I'm hoping the mental fortitude is there and they are ready to go, and I'm hoping that Gek, again, is keeping this team from tearing apart at the seams, because Zeta Division, again, we know their resilience. Komai, the question is really still up in the air because we've seen this team have some bizarre missteps. But if their focus is there and then their intensity is there, they can deliver in a big way.
Well, what you'll notice about Unite is it's often a game of momentum. It seems like a team that's winning keeps winning here, but both of these squads with the reverse sweep yesterday really shows you that they can pull it out when it counts, change everything. And there is something about a team that's been losing and then they start to win. It's just so hard to defeat them at that point. It's like they've figured something out, and then once they hit that, their opponents can do nothing about it.
That's without a doubt. You know, is this an opportunity where you can put me and the cowboy back on screen?
Ooh. What's your plan?
Nope.
Oh, you have no plan
whatsoever.
Great.
At all,
Welcome
actually.
back.
I just feel like we're dressed nice, and, you know, I'd like to be seen.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. The fact that this is our last day, I mean, it sounds like it with how we're acting, doesn't it? It really does seem like it.
Listen, I feel like production is minimizing the amount of time we're on camera because they don't know if we actually have capes or not.
Yeah, they're wondering if we're gonna...
Are they gonna unfurl
they got
the
a cape back there?
They have crowns. They have those epaulettes, those gold shoulder things with tassels. Nobody knows.
I love that you're bringing up all the things that we asked if we could bring in. They said absolutely
no
not.
to all of them. They said no to all of them. But you put positive out, maybe get some positive back.
Maybe we get something back. Surely, if someone in the audience had a crown and brought it to us, I could not wear it.
I mean,
I can't wear it. The crown.
Production, what's that? You're gonna get rid of us before the end of the show. Okay, yeah,
sure,
understood.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we always thought we would be. In the
We're
trash
getting
can.
ready here. Doob Snacks. Stadium filling in too.
Great.
You absolutely love to see it.
I love this ripple effect. I love seeing myself in the Jumbotron. That's terrific. I'm a big fan of that. I cannot deny. This is a great experience. It's a great experience for those of you in the arena, of course. Great experience for our players on stage. Phenomenal experience for me and the Cowboys.
Selfishly for us, this is a great day.
It's just so good.
Yeah, we're absolutely loving it right here. And this is our final Pokemon Unite cast. It really is the most amazing way to send this game off. You know, last year in the arena, it was absolutely electric. And this is even bigger, Doob Snacks.
Yeah, exactly. That's, again, why everybody at home assumed larger capes. But no, look, just look how sharp we look. And here, and here. Well done. Let's talk about these teams again. Zeta Division on that reverse sweep. You talked about momentum and how critical that is, but we've seen time and time again the momentum not necessarily carrying into the next day. We've seen teams go on miracle runs through day 2 of a bracket, hit grand finals, and fall apart. Is this going to be the case for Zeta Division? That's a question that remains unanswered.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, can these teams keep that momentum? Can Zeta keep that huge win going from being behind to now winning? Or are they shaken by the fact that the team on the other side 3-0'd their opponents as we're getting set up for our match right now? And it sounds like we will be soon heading into our game.
And once we do, 10-minute timer on the screen. Ready, go. We're all going to do it together. And we're going to show everybody at home what they're missing out as they're watching through their screen, because we're going to have a raucous crowd here to get loud and deliver the energy to these players on stage.
You can see the screens. Our players are loading in now for our first match of our grand finals here in San Francisco.
I need to take a deep breath. I want to get into it.
Here we go. Ready? Go! Komai Esports, your purple team. Zeta Division, your orange team. The first game of our grand finals begins now.
We see the players on their mini-map cruising towards their path, and we'd love to see the characters on the screen.
Here we go.
As Nomu is immediately going crosstown shootout, and they're going to go for an invade to slow down the progress of Toast. Narami sussing it out quickly and going to press him down.
Yeah, this play right here is taking one of your Pokemon, especially with an experience share, across the map, trying to steal away some experience from their powerful central area Pokemon. Nomu looking to see if they can secure this buff for their squad, and no, it goes over to Toast.
Resta and Rom downstairs there with the Snorlax, and Adesu moving through the Espeon, already evolved, and Toast decides to collapse in the bottom pad. Vitopo now peeling back up top, trying to see where all the action is.
Yeah, here we go. Adesu seeing the side here of Zeta. Vitopo throwing some of that try attack at them as we head to our top path here. Mega Lucario starting off extremely strong, almost already level 5.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the other side, look, we are struggling to get our evolutions. Toast and Narami have to pull up for get a little support on Gatlu. Swablu Terrier, big dual wing beat, and we do have our evolution for Gatlu. That's a start.
Meanwhile, we have a fight in the bottom path. It looks like Dodrio was there for just a moment, and we might have a scrap in the center of the map here as Scyther and Dodrio are very close to each other. Vitopo moving in now, Doob Snacks.
Yeah, Vitopo actually seeing that there's 2 players there. The K opener going to go to Komai. Narami gets the credit, but the damage done by Gatlu and Toast. And now Nomu's struggling to evolve, but they're losing sight of Mizutama, who is getting now matching parity with Gatlu on the levels, and Gatlu quickly caught out. The pressure's on. The try attack's going to seal the deal.
And Gatlu overstanding his welcome in the central area there of Zeta Division, kind of giving up a lot of the experience lead that they got from KOing that central area Pokemon. Unfortunately, those are some of the plays you have to make, though. If you could extend that victory even further, it would be incredible. Adesu, they are on the stored power build, which is going to be tough for the bird.
It is going to be very difficult. Nomu finally hitting the Crustle, going to be able to space out. You see that big rock tomb shelling Toast away, which means Zeta Division is going to grab the first Regidrago.
Great secure from Zeta Division, giving their entire team some team-wide experience and a buff that allows Nomu to score faster. And it looks like we have 2 members of Zeta hiding in the tall grass, trying to take down Toast.
Oh, they know when those timers are going to be on the respawn. Vitopo and Nomu are going to put pressure on Toast. Toast actually bailing into the bottom pad, which means once these things spawn back up, if Zeta Division wants to hang out long enough, they can take them all.
And that's how aggressive that Dodrio can be. Toast just had to leave here and see what they could secure in the bottom path. Here comes Nomu. Meanwhile, Dodrio taking all the experience on the side of Komai.
Yeah, Nomu coming down from the central area, giving Zeta Division the rest of the information they need, which means Vitopo knows that they're pretty safe to grab all the experience from the side of Komai. Meanwhile, up top, it looks like Narami and Gatlu are doing a good job. We do have Quaquaval online.
We do, yeah, and it looks like they did pretty well into this Lucario, but Gatlu's going to need to be careful right here. Lucario has incredible secure potential. Quaquaval does not. They're moving forward, looking for a fight.
4v3, big heavy slam. Quaquaval closed it out. They're all over Nomu. Nomu getting shredded. Big X scissor with the block. Eject button out of the crust to get back on the backside. Reste, the Latias, is trying to make it happen. Toast secures the Regice, and they might look for a push here. They got a 4v2. They're going to get the cheeky scores in now, and they're going to go for the big 36 over. And now the points lead belongs to Komai.
That's right, 159-53. Komai ahead. We have Adesu trying to fight Vitopu on this goal zone, but they are not able to take them down. Even the Unite move could not save them. We now have Vitopo scoring, stacking up their attack weight in this bottom path, making them more and more powerful for all of these fights. But here comes Komai right back at it, looking for Nomu, and they pick up a KO.
Now they're moving forward. Narami, Gek gonna be the security guards for Toast. That big Scyther, tons of burst damage, but incredibly fragile when it comes to taking damage themselves. Narami, nice little psychic, repositions Rom, heavy slam there to separate Resta. The block is back, we're trying to put damage down. Narami gets hit with the Unite move, they're low on HP, dual wing beat, knockout, pressure's on, heavy slam again, and Quaquaval's moving into the back line. Nomu's getting shredded, huge psychic reposition on Mizutama. They're on the backside, they missed the close combat, and Adesu closes the door. Nomu getting shredded. Dual wing beat and Espeon gets credit. Holy smokes, Komai is here to play.
Komai is absolutely cooking in this bottom path right now, but they're deciding not to break this goal, Doob Snacks. They want to keep this bottom path open so they can continue securing some of this experience. Meanwhile, Vitopu trying to take everything away. Big KO, and they're going to be able to get out. They're running away from the central area, and that is the power of Dodrio. That is the power of Vitopo.
Vitopo up a level. If Narami hits that psychic and drags, Vitopo will go down to Toast. They used, I believe, the full heal to cleanse that away so they can get the knockout and escape. And on top of all that, they got Narami's Unite move.
Let's talk about a quiet battle that has been happening throughout this match, and that is the battle that Latias and Latios are playing. These two Pokemon are looking to continue stacking up their Aeon power. They get stronger and stronger throughout this match and have crazy potential as the game goes on. Komai looking good now, but these could turn into real problems for them later.
Big Quaquaval dunk downstairs, 240 wound, 110. Komai is there in the face of 4. Nomu goes down, now Gek can move forward. Mizutama peels back. Rom using their Unite move on Adesu, prime target, half HP gone. Resta is eviscerated, but Toast is gone as well. Gek is looking for Rom. Mizutama strikes down on Narami. Close combat does a bit of damage. Vitopo stressing the scoreboard downstairs. Close combat is there, back on top of Adesu. Nice heavy slam, and okay, we took care of the trash then, and now Komai is pivoting to Registeel. Nomu back into the action, but it's going to be tough.
Meanwhile, while this is happening, Dodrio scoring in the bottom path, trying to even up this scoreline. Nomu stopping the big-time Rubble Rouser Unite, and here come the Latios and Latias.
They took their eye off the Registeel, and since they took the fight, Nomu bought enough time. Now Gek is trapped in the wrong tomb. They have these slammed back over the wall, but now it's Zeta Division that has control of the Registeel objective.
Absolute swings back and forth here. Lucario back. This is going to be very difficult for Komai to stop at this point with the incredible secure potential on the side of Zeta, and they do take it there. It is the Latios getting them the Registeel, a huge buff that is going to give them extra attack and special attack.
Somewhere off screen, we had Vitopo on the Dodrio, level 13, go down. Tons of experience in the hands of Komai. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game, and it is getting close.
It's getting very close here. Less than 100 points separate these two teams, and when Dodrio is on the side of Zeta, you cannot feel good about that. It can run away from our final fight in double time and make some huge plays. Regieleki now being taken by Zeta. No one from Komai in a position to deal with this. In fact, they're just looking for experience on their side of the map. I think they recognize they have to win a huge fight. We are at the 3-minute mark, which means in 1 minute here, we are going to have Groudon spawn in the center, and these two teams are going to need to decide how they want to play the final moments of this match.
Take a deep breath. 40 seconds, and our boss monster here in our first map is going to materialize. Meanwhile, these teams are waiting. The calm before the storm, getting their levels up, and Zeta Division on the hunt, trying to get vision.
And you can see Zeta Division right here with some extremely aggressive positioning. Do they decide to go in? It looks like they're going to use the power-up punch, fly backwards, and throw some damage onto the Snorlax here. They know exactly where they are on the side of Komai. This makes it difficult for Komai to engage.
Ooh, Narami's getting real close to that Dodrio on our minimap. Rome and Resta, Nomu moving forwards in the bottom path here. We've got 5 seconds, brother.
Yeah, here we have 5 seconds till our first.
Oh, no!
God, over the wall. This could be too early, Noob Snacks.
Oh, straight into the Unite move. They get hit with everything under the sun. The Latios sliding out. It's a huge KO. Rock Tomb bubbles out the support core and Adesu. They're trying to put the store power on Nomu. Groudon's getting worked on. We've got the Mega Lucario going for the rip. Groudon in the central area. All of Komai spaced out. Gekko to the backside. Toast friendly using their Unite move. The SBI Unite pops up a couple, but everybody's still standing. The power nap is just on Nomu, and there's only 3 players standing for Komai. Gek does get the knockout, but the rip has started. Narami is there to make a hero play. They can't get it. It's Vitopo, and Zeta Division secures the first objective in our grand finals.
And here they go, rushing to score here. They just need one huge one to even this up. 241, 248, but this match is incredibly close. In just a moment here, these players are about to find out how close it is. When it says it is close battle, that means no one knows which side exactly is up. But with these Groudon buffs, Zeta Division is in a perfect position to win. They just have to have one player sneak off and score. For Komai, they need to run to the other side of the map. They need to KO members of Zeta, take these buffs for themselves, and make something happen. Komai now looking to figure out exactly how they are going to make that fight. We have 2 members of Komai in the bottom path, and here comes Zeta Division sneaking through the tall grass.
Getting the information, but of course the Dodrio has the great capacity to score and stretch this lead that Zeta Division have. Gatlu has exposed themselves. The Rock 2 forces out Adesu and Narami. Backdoor, heavy slam by Gek. They're trying to block and isolate. Gatlu looking for a target, and they're trying to pin down that big Resta. Resta gets out, and now they're trapped. Another Unite move back from Rome, and it's going to pinch in the middle. Toast is using a Unite move, but it's a fruitless endeavor. They're getting absolutely eviscerated. Meanwhile, Vitopo's on a scoring mission. They're up by over 100, and Zeta Division is cruising in the next 10 seconds.
Beautiful Groudon fight, perfectly played by Zeta Division. As we mentioned earlier, you leave the Mega Lucario alone, and they are taking that objective. Komai having the Quaquaval fly over on the jump pad, getting absolutely caught. I don't think it's what they wanted to do at all. I think the Rock Tomb got them stuck in a crazy position that they did not expect, and then everything started to go wrong. The beautiful Unite move from Latios, able to pick up the KO on
Latios
Quaquaval.
and Latias,
Yes.
they both honed in on the right target. And you know what? If if the other team gives you an inch, you take a mile, and that's exactly what happened. I have no idea why Gatlu springboarded into the middle. They landed in an absolute blender, and Zeta Division made them pay in the biggest way.
We're going to have to take a look at some of those moments and replay here in a second, but that is something that I want to watch back as well. I think it was a Rock Tomb that ended up forcing them over the wall. As we take a look at some of these moments here, this was a nice early fight here from Komai, but they did end up paying for it. They could not get Nomu in this situation, and Gatlu does go down.
Again, great early game action out of Komai. And if they were sticking with their game plan in the final stretch, I think they would have been fine. Here we have a great little fight here on the Regice, going to be able to lock it down as well.
Yeah, Regice here being taken. We have Gatlu getting extremely aggressive, pushing forward towards the side of Zeta. Very aggressive plays from them. They knew they needed to win a fight as a team. They were not able to do it. And as we mentioned before, Latios and Latias getting stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the match. By the end there, they were able to use that Unite move as a delete button on Gatlu.
Oh, without a doubt. And now you're seeing when Komai is taking agency in these fights and not on the back foot, they're doing very well. Unfortunately for them, the Gatlu over the wall, I can't wait to see it so we can really analyze how that went down.
Yeah, here we go. Looking at some of the scores. Mizutama moving forward right here. Rome, our player of the game. I mean, are you shocked there? The damage just starts going up and up and up, and I really do think that catch on Gatlu from the side of Zeta Division entirely, but especially the Unite move that finished them off, really was what set up Zeta to win.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about, we mentioned a lot at the top of the show, Vitopo being a critical member of this Zeta Division team, getting them to the finals here. However, Vitopo, a very quiet game in game number 1. So if you look at what Komai was putting together, and if their plan was shut down Vitopo, they succeeded. However, they kind of lost sight on every other player in the game.
Here we go, right back into draft.
Same
Now,
bands.
Komai is going to need to deal with what just happened there. Adesu picking the Espeon here first. They like their strategy. It really was going well for Komai. It just went catastrophically bad there at the end when Gotlu got caught. As we're seeing the next couple of picks over to the side of Zeta Division. Are we going to see the same Pokemon? They did just win with it, so you might not need to change much up.
Suicune off rip, and they are one of the few teams that have been playing a Suicune. And I talk about the Suicune Unite move, how devastating it can be if it tracks and freezes multiple targets. When you have the skill set on the rest of your team like Zeta Division does, it is curtains for you, son.
Yeah, and what they're really setting up here with these bans, the Feraligatr, the Surfetch, the Mimikyu, they're targeting out a lot of these all-rounders, and we're seeing exactly what Gotlu wants to play here. Quaquaval looked pretty good last match, but Quaquaval into Suicune sounds like a nightmare, Dupesnacks. It wants to fight at close range. It does not want to be stunned by this Pokemon.
Worth noting that Mizutama went with base model Lucario. Comfey enters the game here, one of the most banned Pokemon all tournament long. Roam on the Zarina. We'll see how Komai reacts. And now they're going to get the Machamp Espeon combination. So you're going to see a big submission and then that Psyshock Bam stun.
I was wondering what the final pick was going to be here for Komai, and the reason I was wondering is because what Pokemon would they want to play into this Suicune? I don't think it would be the Scyther. We've got a slightly tankier Pokemon with the Mega Charizard X, and if they can pick something up, especially something that already has a Comfey on it and delete it fast, you're kind of getting 2 KOs for the price of 1. One combination that we have on Komai that has been absolutely brutal throughout this entire tournament is the Machamp and the Espeon. Machamp with submission, making themselves unstoppable, running towards the enemy side, grabbing one of their opponents, throwing them over their shoulders, and then letting Adesu on this Espeon hit them with the Psyshock and Psybeam. It's kind of a 1-2 punch that knocks out most things in the game. The question is, does Adesu want to play that build, or is he still feeling the stored power? I think without the Dodrio around, we're probably seeing the Psyshock.
I think you want to go Psyshock 100%, right? Especially because Roam or Vitopo is going to be carrying the Comfey, so doing the suplex stun right there is going to get you that, what I like to call that little BOGO deal. You get the big guy down and the Comfey comes for free.
Here we go. Heading into game number 2 in the Chase Arena, our final Pokemon Unite World Championship as our teams are loading in.
Ready?
Pretty good, Dupesnacks. You saved that well.
You think?
Yeah, I think you did great.
Yikes, brother. Unite staying true to itself. Bell to bell here. Say the thing.
Here we go. Komai, your purple team. Zeta Division, your orange team. Up 1 game now in our best of 5. Gek running across the map, looking to see what they can take away from Zeta. When you have an Urshifu on the other side, you want to be very aggressive because this is one of the toughest early game Pokemon. Kubfu really struggles to get online.
Struggles in a big way. Gek doing a great job with Invasion. You think, hey, are they going to get knocked out? What are they actually trying to accomplish here? And it's to waste time.
Yeah.
And Gek is being incredibly successful right now. And now they're pulling out the slow smoke from Resta. Vitopo, still that Kubfu does get both buffs, but slowed down immensely.
Yeah, and you want to slow this down, right? Because if you do not slow down this Urshifu, it is going to enter the battle very quickly with that rapid strike. It's going to be a real problem here. Nomu trying to secure that, but it looks like Gotlu was able to take that in the bottom path. Kubfu now looking for their moment, looking for their level 5. They have it. They have evolved. This is a scary place, especially with the Comfey collar. They're going to need to be very careful on the side of Komai.
Right there, right in the middle, looking for their opportunity is a little Machop and saying, I just want to get my points in. Can I? No. They're going to get frozen for absolutely no value here. We'll see if they get knocked out. Resta and Vitopo cruising through the central area here as Komai is committing to the top path.
Yeah, and beautiful stuff from Komai there, right? They recognized that that fight was not going to go well for them. However, they put a lot of pressure on top. But we do have the Urshifu making their way to the top path, seeing if they can punish some of the players. Nomu here in the bottom path, just trying to attack them on this goal zone. Rom now already level 6.
Giving them fits here. Rome with so much mobility. You see that big stomp out of this arena and just gliding in. Queenly Majesty takes points going up as they're about the action, and now they're just wasting time because they're able to prevent Gatlu from evolving as Toast is getting bullied in his own central.
And look at this here. Here comes Vitopu. This is the power of some of these Pokemon like Urshifu, the Dodrio. They can really move through the enemy central area. And look how aggressive Zeta is being, never letting up here. They've already taken game one. They want to finish this.
They absolutely do. And look at that quick little freeze from Nomu, Rome as well. I mean, everything is moving for Zeta Division. They have complete control of Reggie Drago. Narami trying to move forward as a little duck, see what they can do. Bubble beam! Narami! Honestly, you don't know the value that just brought to a struggling Komai team. And sometimes all you need is a cheeky objective steal to get yourself back in it.
Yeah, there's something about just taking something that you shouldn't have gotten from your opponents. Your team can kind of get the energy they need back in this match. Narami heading to the bottom path here. The Charizard, Toast heading to the bottom. Adesu as well with the Unite move, making their way to the bottom path, looking for a fight.
Consistent freezes from Nomu, always getting at least one target, sometimes multiple. Very impressive. You've got the Whirlpool down, pushing forward, Ice Beam lined up. No, Regirock is working. Rome is stomping. Narami trying to give cover. Nomu with the support. And here comes Mizutama. Power up punch, close the door, moving forward. Nomu getting credit, but the pressure's on. Toast is pinned against the wall as Charizard. They're knocked out. And running away is Rome. Resta hopping off as the Comfy jumps right back on, and the Regirock belongs to Zeta Division.
Regirock being ripped apart right here. The Serena playing so well for the side of Zeta, and also the fact that it has the Comfey on it just makes it more difficult to fight. You don't realize it when you're fighting it all the time, but you are fighting two Pokemon at the same time.
Good little psychic pull from Narami. Can Komai do anything with it? Heavy slam over, suplex, forces out the Urshifu Unite. 11 hits down, blocked to separate Mizutama from the team. On the backside, we're getting Adesu knocked out, but Topo's still going. Mizutama's right there, and they get suplexed into path. Gek looking for cover, but the goal zone is closed. KO streak of 3. Gatlu keeps trying to hold it down, but they're going to be dispatched. And now it's Narami and Adesu. Toast isn't even paying attention. Complete control for Zeta Division.
Toast with the Unite move coming right back, trying to stop them right here, but gets taken back up into the air.
The Ice Age freezes Komai, and that allows Zeta Division to keep pushing. KO streak of 2 for the legendary dog as they're going to peel back, and it's finally a Machamp. Gek steps up, block back, suplex, but is there enough in the tank?
Here we go, Machamp Unite move looking to get a KO right here. Adesu coming in, but missing the Side Shock and Side Beam because Vitopu was able to move out. Beautiful plays there. Zeta Division dominating game 2.
Holy brother, you take your eyes off of Topo and you're getting ranched by Mizutama. You take your eyes off Mizutama and it's Nomu buckling you with the ice blocks. Zeta Division in complete control.
Zeta Division in control. Komai struggling here. There are a few bright lights. They finally have their levels where they can have Unite moves, especially that Charizard. Unfortunately for them, they were absolutely shut down the last time they used it. They need to get a great fight online and isolate some big targets.
Good suplex. Block there to ensure at least Mizutama. Here comes Vitopo and Comfy. Snatched into the air. We're going to try and burn him down. Urshifu Unites up. Combo hits of 36. They're looking for more suplex. Can they convert? No, 42, 45. The numbers keep climbing. Nomu with a huge freeze on the backside. And it's Rome looking to stomp through the rest of Komai. Rome might be a water type. Nope, they're a grass type, but they're burning it down for sure.
Don't worry, we make a lot of mistakes here. No one will notice that one. Snorlax in the top path. We have the Psyduck moving with it, but here comes Vitopo once again in this central area looking to make something happen. Dupsnacks like they have been all game. Just take over the map. Take all the experience from Komai. This is such a difficult match. If they were able to get a huge pick, a submission into the Psyshock, into the Charizard Unite, they could take down one of these huge targets, but Zeta has been playing so well.
They've got to make sure. Oh! Big Machamp Unite for 3. Mizutama is there, though. Pressure on Gatlu, Fruitless Endeavor gone.
Here we go, Vitopu heading back towards their side. Gek now in the top path. Rome, level 12 up here as we have Toast, also level 12, but you would really hope that your central area Pokemon would be out-leveling this right here as we have 13 on the other side for Zeta Division. Komai is not out of this, but the fights are looking grim for them.
Listen, this is exactly how some of their matches went yesterday, getting bullied most of the game and finding it in the final moments. Nomu is very low. There's a quality knockout opportunity. Charizard Unite does lock down the Suicune. Now Rome has to stomp away. Right back in is the Blue Shifu, getting combos up to 45, 47, 56, 57. We keep pushing, make it 60.
Wow, unbelievable from Zeta. You just see the level that this player is playing at as they score another 50 points. 75 to 312 from Zeta, and they are dominating all of these fights. You can see why Comfey is one of the most banned Pokemon in our entire tournament.
Right?
It is so difficult to shut down a player that has this on them, especially people that are playing at this level like Vitopo.
Okay, take a deep breath, Komai, just like I did. Figure out the typing of your Pokemon, because apparently I'm still learning that, and see what you can cobble together in the next 40 seconds, because you got a big fight to win.
Regieleki now being taken down by Komai. They have to deal with this, whereas Zeta gets to do whatever they want on the map. What they want to do is hide in this tall grass and see if they can catch a member of Komai early before this fight. 30 seconds until Kyogre makes their way to the center. Narami hitting a Psychic. Gatlu moving in. They might take the fight early as they grab the Suicune.
Suplex over the wall. Rome is 2. Nomu's low. Nomu's knocked out. Ice Age gets 3. The block is there to protect the team. Vitopo looking for a flank. Right back into the middle is Mitsuzama. Rome on the backside looking for Toast. Vitopo eyes down Gax. We finally have the Charizard unite, but they're punched. They're shielded. They're back. Finally, Mitsuzama goes down. Rome is on the chopping block. Suplex stun.
Whoa!
Up on the heavy slam. Gatlu needs to use a move, but we have a huge Urshifu unite again. Make it 60 and counting. They're pushing back, and it's just 2 players on Zeta Division, but they're fighting oh so well.
Vitopo somehow making their way through the relentless assault from Komai. The Charizard Unite move picked up multiple members, and now, for just a moment, the calm before another storm. Kyogre in the middle, Zeta coming back. We now have Charizard coming back in just 5 seconds, but will Zeta start this before Charizard is ready to fight? Here comes Lucario looking for Gek. The block right now. No one wants to make a mistake here, but Zeta wants to scrap.
So Vitopo getting straight into the middle, little bit of a freeze, follow-up suplex. Vitopo is split. Vitopo goes down. Narami's getting chased. They're snuffed out and stomped. Just 2 players for Komai. Toast is on the chase. Singular unite move from Rome, and Rome is in fact burning for Komai here in game 2. They're not going to worry about Kyogre. They're going to assault those goal zones.
They are heading towards the central area goal here of Komai, and this is going to increase their points lead considerably. There's still time on the clock, but now Komai's only shot is going to be able to quickly get that central area objective and make something happen. 171, 528, and we can see Rome attacking multiple members here of Komai, fighting them on their own goal zone. It doesn't look like there's going to be enough time for Komai as Charizard finally hits the map. Gatlu working on Kyogre in the center.
And meanwhile, the rest of Komai getting snuffed out as the scores keep going in. Zeta Division with an exclamation point on the line that was game 1. They hammer home game 2, and they're up by so many points. With 13 seconds left, it's gonna be tough.
And you see Zeta Division right here. Look at how smart they are, deciding there's no reason to fight near this tier 1 goal zone. They just have to stop them from scoring in here and in the home goal zone. Beautiful plays from Zeta. An absolutely dominant performance here in game 2, and they are now 1 game away from being your final Pokemon Unite World Champions.
You said the team that would win the first game would gain the momentum and carry it through, and right now we have Zeta Division with all the momentum in the world, but Zeta Division knows what being down 0-2 means.
Yes.
Because they did the reverse sweep yesterday, and they have to keep the pedal to the floor. You cannot let a team with the skill level of Komai scratch and claw their way back into this. You gotta snuff them out now.
Just like we saw yesterday, both of these teams have been in a position to reverse sweep, so this is not over by any means. But if you're Zeta, you have to feel good about how that match went. Game 1 was very close. Game 2, they were in control the entire time.
Nomu on this Suicune was a problem, brother, and you can see why Zeta Division committed a first pick to it. A Pokemon that has been quiet all weekend long, and now surging onto the scene with the surging strikes from Blue Shifu. And really, blue's a good color on Zeta Division game 2 win.
Look at that, 95,000 damage from Rome on the Zarina. This is a Pokemon that's received a lot of bans throughout our tournament because if a team plays it, they are incredible. You are pointing to a pretty big number there. Vitopo, 18 knockouts.
18 knockouts, 2 assists, 1 feint, and that gives you a KO plus A over F, a cough, of 20. 91k damage out of Vitopo. I mean, every one of these characters was a problem, dude.
Yeah, real problem. Toast not coming online as fast as they needed to on the side of Komai was also a real issue. Mega Charizard had some huge moments throughout that match, but you want it early and you want them often. You want to be megaing in a lot of these fights, picking up huge KOs, and they only had a few that went their way. And even when they did, Zeta played so incredibly well that they were able to stem the tide, get right back in there, and win the refight.
Look at that heat map, brother. Everywhere. Once Rome got online, they were skating all over the map, finding targets and taking them down. As we have our crowd right there, primed up, ready to go for game number 3.
Oh, I'm getting word from our production, Doopsnacks. This is actually a huge deal. Your mistake in the last match, that is our 10,000th mistake.
Whoa! Let's hear it!
We did it, everybody!
Look how excited they are about our 10,000th mistake.
Big deal. A big deal for us. A lot of us said we couldn't do it before we shut the game down, but you know what? Yes, we can. Never give up on your dreams.
Of just catastrophic mistakes on the biggest stage. You love to see it from the boys. We won't be back tomorrow.
As we're getting ready for what could be our final match, Doopsnacks, between these two squads. Komai, they're really going to need to figure something out. There is something about a loss that huge that gets you to recalibrate everything, go back to what you know, go back to what you know is going to win. Stop trying to play better than what you are. Play the Komai that got you here in the first place. But they need to make it happen right now, as Zeta Division could become your champion in just 10 short minutes.
Again, Comfey available for one of these teams. Blastoise is the first pick. The bands, the exact same. And Zeta Division has been navigating their draft after these bands incredibly well. They feel confident. Komai feels like they're just going with the flow.
Here we go. Next couple of picks over to Zeta. They are going to take that Crustle. And they are going to take Latias, which we saw in game number 1. Obviously, this could easily lead to Rome once again being on that Latios, which was incredibly powerful, difficult for Komai to shut down, especially towards the late game when the burst damage was just so high that Gotlu went down immediately. They're back on the Quavel, which for Komai, their early game in game number 1 has been their strongest showing throughout this entire tournament. So I understand heading back towards this.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to make sure that whatever Toast picks isn't super duper susceptible to an invade, because you really want Narami to be sticking in path with Gotlu to get them unlocked. And this has been the Achilles heel of Komai on Saturday. The games they have lost in rough fashion have been because across the way was the horse, the Galarian Rapidash.
This pick right here from Zeta Division is the most targeted pick that we've seen throughout this entire series, recognizing that Komai had a very difficult time into this Pokemon yesterday, so much so that they needed to ban it. This could be the ace in the hole for Zeta right now and how they win the entire tournament. Adesu back on their hero Pokemon from day 2, Mewtwo Wai and Toast on the Talonflame. Incredibly fast, so we have a very quick speedster on both sides.
Yeah, and I mean, Talonflame does a decent job holding its own in the early stages as well. It has some decent secure in its kit. Rome is going to Latios, and this Latios-Latias combination in game 1 we saw was incredibly strong. So, Komai, with their back against the wall, they are fighting with Blastoise, Quaquaval, Psyduck, Mewtwo Wai, and Talonflame.
Zeta Division with everything on the line. The championship 1 game away, stealing away the Crustle, which had some huge plays for them in game 1. The Latias coming back out, and now 2 speedsters on the side of Zeta as we're taking a look at our crowd here in San Francisco.
Hopefully we do the flyover right and we can grace this game with a team ready to go.
There our battlefield, Thea Sky Ruins with Rayquaza in the center. This could be your final match of Pokemon Unite in the championship series. 1 more game for Zeta Division and they will become your champion. Komai needs to win 3 in a row. It's been done before. Members of Komai have done it before, but Komai, this is tough.
Ready?
Go! Komai, your purple team, Zeta Division, your orange team, as we are 1 game away from crowning Zeta the champion.
But standing in their way is Komai. You are down, but you are not out yet. Keep your eye on the prize and keep on fighting and make your story happen. Narami immediately sussing out Nomu, putting A press pressure on, which means auto attacks on your opponent.
That's right. You're looking to shut this thing down before it can really do something towards this central area. We have Toast right now looking to see if they can get some of this experience. Nomu trying to steal it right here, but that does go over to the side of Komai. Not only is Toast trying to get this experience right here, but they're also trying to shut down that Dwebble if they can.
Yeah, I mean, just the little rocks peppering you on the top of the head for that miniature stun is so annoying, and Toast actually getting surprisingly low, does close out with the knockout, so Toast's going to hit Path, but not quite level 5.
Yeah, you can see the red buff was taken there by the Dwebble, and that's why getting that KO, they get the buff back, but they're still not yet level 5. They're going to take some of this experience right here, and Talonflame is getting closer and closer. It does evolve at level 7 to its final evolution.
Mizutama eyeing down the Swablu and Altaria. Great presence from Komai. Rock Tomb is there, and that actually isolated Gotlu very quickly, and something they need to watch out for.
Vitopo is now something they're going to need to watch out for as Dodrio really gets to decide how they want to play this. Looking for the Talonflame in the center as we're fighting over some experience right here. Vitopo moving forward, seeing if they can get the KO on Toast. Toast actually has to run away from their own central area, and this has been the story of all of these matches. Zeta Division doesn't look at my half of the map, your half of the map. It's all their map.
And it's working. It's working great. We see Toast behind on levels. We see Vitopo doing whatever it is they want. The Galarian Rapidash, the horse with the sharp stuff coming out the top of its head is looking good now because they just hit their evolution. Narami's headache takes over after a Rock Tomb from Nomu. And really, Komai is just kind of turtling up all over the map.
Yeah, Komai not up on levels, so they're going to need to fight together if they can make something happen here. But Zeta Division with Vitopo already at 7, really taking over the map and stealing everything they can from the side of Komai. Rome now getting the blue buff here in the bottom path, while Dodrio is going to clean up some of the experience. Just calm for a moment as we have a huge objective spawning in 40 seconds in the top and bottom path. But before that, we have a fight over some Altaria as well.
Desu doing a decent job trying to keep pace on these levels, but being left alone as the Mewtwo Y is difficult. Rome and Resta seeing that they can put some pressure on, and they do indeed. You see the life bar of a Desu just getting clunked every single time. Here comes Gek for a little bit of support on the Wartortle.
Yeah, now we have the block there of the Psy Strike. They're looking to make something happen in the bottom path, but they are behind in levels, and that is a really tough place to be. Blastoise desperately needing their level 7. Toast is still not Talonflame.
Level 6 is vicious. Ticking over to 7 is at least something. Nice reposition. Rome getting knocked out by a Desu. A Desu's going to have to anchor this team for a bit because Toast is so far behind. Here comes Nomu and Vitopu. Rock Tomb pins Gek. A Desu slides back. Regirock getting worked on. Try is in there. Gek secures. And this is great opportunity for Komai now.
This is a huge moment for Komai. Quaquaval alone in the top path and moving as a unit here. We actually have something happening from Komai. Zeta Division in control of this match up until this point, but that was a huge swing of momentum and experience towards the side of EU.
Komai, Quaquaval, just super quietly level 9. And Vitopo going down is kind of huge. A Desu getting big now. They're getting credit for a lot of these big-time knockouts.
Yeah, this is actually getting kind of tough for Zeta Division. All of a sudden, we're seeing a lot of cracks in the armor of this squad. In control for a while, but Komai gets together. They Pokemon unite, if you will, and now they are winning this game.
Gek gonna try and hold down this pad in the face of 3 players from Zeta Division and doing a pretty good job stymieing that push. In the top path, we've got Quaquaval working on Regieleki. Narami's there for the support, and we'll see where Komai's next move is as the Talonflame secures. The Surf is gonna get, the Surf gonna pin back that Altaria, and the Unite move from Rome does hit Gek.
Yeah, and you can see that Rome used this not to get a huge KO, but just to charge up those Aeon stacks as here comes Komai in the top path looking for a fight. Talonflame in the air, big time flame sweep!
Gets Nomu, and that's a knockout. Dodrio unite back to pad to get with the team. You see that big triangle, Galarian Rapidash unite, Toast takes the skies again. Big Mewtwo Y unite, gonna disjoint Zeta Division. Good fight from Komai, Regieleki hits, and the scoreboard belongs to EU.
Good morning, Komai. Welcome to the World Championships Grand Finals. Where have you been this entire time?
They just needed a little bit of a wake-up call, and it turns out their alarms were set to 5 minutes left in Game 3.
205 to 4. Komai in commanding position here. Zeta actually for the first time getting beaten in this series. Komai looking incredible. It must have been the switch over to the Mewtwo Y. You gotta believe in a Desu.
You gotta believe in a Desu. There's a little headache ticking up from Psyduck. It's enough to slow down Zeta Division, at least for now. And what I'm impressed by is how far behind Komai was and how far ahead they are now.
Regirock now just being taken by Zeta. No one on Komai really ready to do much about this. And Talonflame actually taking as much experience as they can in the top path. Got a little bit of a fight breaking out here. Rome looking for a Unite move. Adesso, Mega, Mewtwo, Wise, and peels out with Teleport.
Yeah, Teleport, using that to just escape there, not overextend is good. Here comes Mizutama, their own team's Rock Tomb, keeping them from pushing forward. Here comes Rome, lining up a target. Mizutama can't use that Smart Strike to get a prime target, so they peel back for just an instant. Gek on half HP, Narami as well, but they're holding pretty strong.
We talked about this when we saw the Latios earlier, but there is another game happening here that really only Rome is playing. They are trying to get as much Aeon power as they can, and they get that by hitting that Dragon Pulse on their opponents or KOing wild Pokemon. The more times this happens, the stronger it's going to be in the late game, and we saw the power of that with how quickly they were able to dispatch of Gotlu on the Quaquaval last time. Big fight starting.
Here comes the Galarian Rapidash with a flank. Vitopo forced out. Narami going to put a Bubble Beam on them. We do have the Rapidash Unite move into the middle. Toast gets the knockout on Dodrio. Mitsutama push back as Quaquaval secures. They do grab a berry. The chase is on. Nice stun. We take to the sky with Fly, and the door is closed on the Rapidash finally.
And here we go. They have the Regieleki walking towards the side of Zeta Division, and Komai is going to use this opportunity to make something happen in the bottom path. Already up on the scoreboard, 250 now, 263, 303 to 79. Nomu in trouble right here.
X's are back on deck. Vitopo peppering in some damage with the tri-attack. There it goes, back to the skies, Fly, Toast gets credit for another. Ejects into the bush, but Vitopo predicts and gets a big charge-in knockout. Gek goes down, and now Komai has overextended their welcome, and Zeta Division is more than happy to show them the door.
And here comes Quaquaval. Do they decide to fight? No, Gotlu intelligently runs away.
Out of there.
You know there's a part of Gotlu that's thinking, I think I'm going to fight everyone from Zeta right
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to springboard in the middle of their entire team. Not a good look. Gotlu, just get out of there for now.
That's very heads-up play here by Komai, intelligently moving away from that fight because in 23 seconds we have Rayquaza hitting the map. This could be our final objective of our World Championships. Zeta just needs to win one more game. Komai playing incredibly, but everything is on the line. 10 seconds left. The question is, who is going to start this fight? Can they stop Rome and the crazy amount of damage from this Latios? And at the same time, can Zeta kind of get this match back under control? Gek hiding in the tall grass on the side of Zeta Division, possibly looking to make a big flank here as Blastoise is now moving Dupsnax around on the minimap. We see Zeta getting extremely aggressive. Here comes Gotlu!
Gotlu Unite move right in the middle. Mewtwo Y Unite to stun them down. Hydro Typhoon hits a bunch. Vitopo is taken care of. Mitsutama's low, putting the triangle down there, knocked out. Everybody on Zeta Division is getting scrubbed. Gatlu's sacrificing themselves, and the team converging to Rayquaza. Nomu's looking for a way in, but Rayquaza's getting low. We've got Resta stepping up. Can we have a hero play? Rock Tomb's too early. Can we get a secure? The whole team's gone. Komai is going to take Rayquaza, and Komai is looking to take game number 3.
Komai coming back in this, but it is not over. They have their Rayquaza shields, a minute 12 on the clock. Toast was knocked out in that final moment, I think by Rayquaza itself, possibly helping Zeta Division secure a win here. But with a minute left, Zeta needs to make a huge play, and unlike our other objectives, they cannot steal these buffs away from Komai. All they can do is simply break these Rayquaza shields. Komai in a great position here, but it is not over.
All right, Gek getting pinched a little bit, going to surf towards a pad and going to create the chase onto them, waste some of that time. They're going to go for the score. They're going to get pinned, isolated, and knocked out. Zeta Division eyeing up what a comeback looks like.
Yeah, Zeta Division looking to make something happen here. Here comes Vitopu. Udesu in some trouble right now. Multiple members of Komai have already been cut. That's 2 down.
No.
You can't go down here.
Gotlu is in a blender. They have just a shrivel HP. Oh no! 3 players down. We got to cover the pads. Toast is sitting there. Resta and Vitopo looking to make a move.
And here we go with the Psyduck scrambling across the map with Resta not able to score with the double KO from Talonflame. 10 seconds left. Komai can breathe a sigh of relief. They are still in this tournament. We're heading to game number 4.
What a bounce back from Komai. That beginning of that game felt in shambles. Just a couple cheeky plays, nice little secures, and all of a sudden, the team has life.
And this is very scary for Zeta Division. Now, obviously, they're up in this series, but this has been happening time and time again. Zeta Division reverse sweeping to get here. Komai reverse sweeping to move on through their bracket. Zeta is also a team that was up in the grand finals that they lost to a team coming back. They have to be worried about how this is going after game number 3.
Ooh, we're watching some great plays from this game specifically. And right around that 5-minute mark is when the Komai alarms were set to wake up, because they showed up and really closed this game out in a meaningful and powerful way.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you're hoping for, of course, in our grand finals. If you're a Komai fan, this is exactly what you want to see. This team does not shrivel when they are behind. They instead get big, head on in there and fight their opponents. Look at the aggression here from the Blastoise. The flank unite move, taking every KO they can. And the patience here of this fight, so impressive. Ripping through Rayquaza, then once their opponents come back in, knocking them out before the secure. Great stuff from Komai.
I'll tell you what, whatever studying Komai did overnight about this Galarian Rapidash, they certainly snuffed out that problem. 0 knockouts, 5 feints, 1 assist. Mizutama, an absolute non-factor here in game number 3.
Yeah, I would say the Galarian Rapidash was a completely useless Pokemon for them, and I know the reason they picked it, because they recognized that it was the kryptonite yesterday for Komai, but they did not have the strategy behind it that C2 had.
Komai wins a game, and now they're slowing down and potentially snatching back the momentum from Zeta Division. I am shocked that Zeta Division didn't go back into the well of game number 2 for game number 3, because all of those Pokemon were still available, and they could have easily just ran it back and said, you couldn't deal with it once, let's see if you can deal with it now.
Yeah. The question is, how does Zeta want to react to a moment like this? Once you lose a match, it can shake a team. We've seen it many times. We've seen teams that are almost unbeatable throughout an entire season of Unite, and then something happens. A bad match happens, and their mental falls apart. We'll have to see if Zeta can bounce back from a game like that. After being so dominant in game 2, you have to wonder where they went.
Yeah, I mean, they just took their foot off the gas pedal, right? I mean, we've seen it time and time again. You're like, oh, you know, we've got some games to give. You know, maybe they're cheekily thinking, well, if we win this game, what Pokemon do I want to be represented by as being champion? When in reality, you gotta win first before you get represented by something. And we've got the Zarina ban, the Zoroark ban. Zacian has been unleashed from this ban section, and Gek is still grabbing Blastoise first.
I think it's a great call, a huge playmaker here. We do have Zacian from Mizutama, and given how he played last game, I'm excited to see them on a Pokemon that they're more willing to play, or that they have more experience with, I should say.
Without a doubt. How do we react here from the side of Komai? Nomu on the tree prio is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they are prioritizing Nomu's pick every single game, and clearly they are working through that player. Gatlu, Narami, Quaquaval, Psyduck. We're keeping it with the birds over there. All water types as well.
Interesting. We're looking at the Umbreon here from Zeta, and we have a Mew from the side of Zeta Division. So obviously we're moving away from the Latios and Latias that we've been seeing for a few games out of Zeta. They're deciding that strategy is not working the way they wanted to. Komai here now getting some late picks that are extremely powerful. Adesu does get the Espeon all the way at the bottom of the draft, basically.
That was the fastest lock-in on
Yes,
Urshifu ever.
Yeah, it was the fastest Urshifu we've seen. But the real question is this going to be as powerful without the Comfey as an accelerant for these Pokemon, right? That's a huge deal. Toast now with the Talonflame. They had a great Talonflame game, the best we've seen from them, I'd say, throughout this series here. Adesu very comfortable here on this Espeon. And Gatlu had an amazing game, especially in that top path, all alone with Quaquaval.
Yeah, well, they got to have a good game because they were left alone in the top path. And if I'm Zeta Division, I'm just not letting him be unbabysat. Like, don't let him take over.
Taking a look at our crowd here, getting hyped for game number 4 between these two squads. Zeta still 1 game away from becoming your champions, and there is our battleground. Thea, Sky, Ruins, Groudon will be our map here. Zeta Division 2, Komai 1. Komai needs to win 2 in a row right now, Doob Snacks.
Let's get ready as we're getting into game. A good ready go.
Ready, go! Komai, your purple team, Zeta Division, your orange team, Zeta, 1 game away from becoming the final Pokemon Unite Grand Finals World Champion.
Whew. All right, Narami, Gatlu heading to the top path. The birds of a feather flocking together here as they're going to see what they can do in the face of Mizutama. Zacian, an early game menace, quickly stunned, good secure.
Here we go, Gatlu looking to stop Resta right here. Gek in the bottom path, in some trouble. Mew, incredibly difficult to fight, especially early with that Electro Ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It puts so much pressure on. Of course, it has so many tools in its toolkit, and that makes it difficult overall. Nomu trying to out-secure, going to grab a berry, as really Komai doesn't care. They just want to make sure they're getting their wild Pokemon down.
And they do here, and that means Adesu does evolve as they are moving forward right here. If they can evolve, they can try to out-secure the Mew, which is the plan.
Toast, level 5. They weren't level 5 last game until 7 minutes in, so doing a lot better already. Boosted auto, step up, Adesu hitting that on the chin so Gek doesn't go down.
And you can see the power of that Psyshock, right? An incredible amount of damage while at the same time a huge stun. Here we come. Vitopo back down to the bottom path.
Toast baiting in Vitopo. The Psyshock misses. Vitopo decides to peel back, and that's what they were setting up. Present Toast, allow them to retreat, hit a Psyshock, and maybe take a big fight.
Vitopo actually staying in this bottom path. They did not expect it right here. They pick up a KO. Adesu in some trouble right now, deciding whether or not they want to stay here to fight. If Vitopo decides to dash forward, they can pick up a huge win, but we do have members of Komai here to counter it, and it looks like Vitopo sussed that out. They say, this feels too good to be true.
Yeah, I mean, Vitopo really hiding out. They got their prize, right? They got a knockout. Why overextend and give up that value you just picked up? Gatlu now doing pretty good job keeping pace, actually outpacing Mizutama, and they haven't been helped, though. Here comes Resta for the support on this Umbreon.
Yeah, Resta now up in the top path is this Umbreon. I'm not sure which Umbreon we're going to be looking at here, whether it is going to be Mean Look or it is going to be Foul Play. More often we see the Mean Look, so it can shut down your opponents and keep them in an area where you can KO them as a team.
Yeah, Umbreon, a Mean Look on the Talonflame would go pretty hard right now. Nomu getting chunked. Resta and Vitopo moving forward. Are they eyeing up a combat? No. Nomu going to leash everybody along, fly to the skies. That's a knockout, but Regidrago is going to go to Zeta Division.
Zeta Division takes Regidrago, but they do lose their Trevenant for that fight. As now we're now moving back down to the bottom path, it looks like Trevenant is going to be here for the spawn of the Swablu Altaria at 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Resta in some trouble right now.
Yeah, tons of damage down, but the wish from the Umbreon going to keep their HP topped off so that they don't get burst down by the big Talonflame.
Here we go, Gek, Adesu in this bottom path, seeing what they can secure. Obviously, we want to get as much experience as we can over to Adesu, but Gek only level 6 here, still a War Turtle. We need level 7 before we get Surf.
Yeah, look at the swap though. Quaquaval going down, the rest of Komai going up. They're showing a different look here, and Mizutama thinks they've got it free. Nice pull by Narami. The fly to the skies is going to fall just short. They can't land on their target. E-ball eaten by Gek on the front line. Regi stepping up. We've got the side shot, but it's Narami that gets credit. Snatched is that Reggie.
Reg Ice over to the side of Komai. Beautiful secure right here. And they're actually moving forward with this fight. Another psychic catch. They're looking for Resta. Quaquaval gets the KO. Time a KO here on Zacian, looking for it with Toast, but no, they just barely miss.
Solar Beam does hit Adesu, but that's enough for Narami and Gatlu to flip the script and get a knockout on that 151. And now Komai fading back, and they've got the slightest score lead.
Zacian way behind here in the top path, only level 7 right now compared to the Quaquaval, already at level 9 for Komai. This match incredibly close between these two squads, no one dominating early.
All right, nice pull on Nomu, but I don't think they know that they are outgunned right now. Big Solar Beam on Gek. trying to figure out our position and our way in.
And here we go, 5 members of Zeta hiding in the tall grass right here, not letting them know that Vitopo is there, but it looks like Komai is pretty aware that they don't see this Urshifu anywhere on the map.
We've got the Quaquaval flank attempt. Vitopo susses it out, and now Gatlu just has to run away.
Yeah, Gatlu has to run away because multiple members of Zeta could collapse on this Pokemon as we see Rome heading to the top path with Mizutama, seeing what they can make happen. Gatlu all alone here right now. Psyduck is on the way, but here comes Vitopo looking for the KO, and they get it.
That's absolutely Fisher-Price. Sai-Yai coming out from the Psyduck, going to lower the damage that's going to be dealt. Fly to the sky, and that's a big knockout for Toast. Flame sweep, hits a wall. That's the only target it ever gets 100% of the time.
Here we go, Mizutama.
Oh, nice pull!
Huge sidekick, and they're looking for the KO here on the Zashi, and it does go down, but right back the other way, they take Talonflame.
What an exchange there. What a pull by Narami. Hornleech back into the guts. Reposition. KO Shiga 2 for Rome. Narami's on the backside. Give credit to Resta. 3 players in a heartbeat dispatched. And now Zeta Division takes control in the top path because we've got a Reggie spawning.
Here we go. Gatlu looking for something right here, but incredible positioning from Zeta. And look at the Talonflame, seeing what they can do. It's a little too early. They can't get the secure. Beautifully played by Zeta Division. Reggie Rock to their side, giving them increased defense as well. It wasn't enough for the Trevenant as they go down.
We saw on the left-hand side of your screen, Nomu actually went in and horn-leeched 3 players from Komai away, giving them that window of opportunity to secure the top Reggie. Meanwhile, Vitopo wasn't even scrapping with them, scoring points downstairs.
Vitopo almost level 13 here as Gatlu's trying to make something happen in this bottom path. Looking for a big-time Unite move. They go in.
Vitopo went on the backside, right to the Trevenant. Big Unite move, picking up a bunch. Hits are at 31. The scales are continuing. Komai is falling. Vitopo's taking over. They're taking that last performance personally, and they are putting the team in their backpack.
Look at this here from Zeta Division. These fights are beautiful. Komai taking this opportunity to score and keep this close. 103-128. Mizutama, a bit of a non-factor this match as well, but Zacian is now getting online. Resta peeling back towards their squad. So aggressive this player from Zeta Division is. Reggie Drago now just being ripped apart. This is something Zacian can do so well. With Metal Claw and the increased attack speed, they take that no problem.
Nomu's going to end this game with like 400,000 damage taken and like 12 feints. But all they're doing for Zeta Division is buying time everywhere on the map so that Vitopo can get huge, so Mizutama can catch up. It's a great look right now.
In trouble right here. Gek has to peel back, but Gek also doing this job of getting a lot of information for the team. Gatlu right now fighting over this, and look, stolen by the Umbreon.
I mean, what a look by Zeta Division here. Komai had some moments, but so does Zeta. Vitopo almost level 14. Getting caught here, nice little pull. Mizutama with great cover.
Here we go, 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. We do have an objective in this top path. I don't know if Komai wants to fight over to get some experience. It looks like they are sending Talonflame back. Registeel can be massive. The increased attack and special attack can change a fight in a huge way, but are they able to get it? Toast eating a solar beam right there from the Mew. No one looking for this fight. Zeta, however, looking to set themselves up perfectly for the final moments here with such a high level Urshifu. This is going to be difficult for Komai. Over the wall, we are looking for something. Nomu just getting chipped a little bit right here, but everyone from Zeta is ready to fight. These could be your final Pokemon Unite moments in our championship series. The question is, how does this fight start? Zeta Division chipping at the Groudon, looking for their opportunity to move in. Gatlu looking for a fight. Toast on the other side. Here comes Gek with the Blastoise peeling back. Huge solar beam.
You into the mist. Hydro Typhoon eject button does get Vitopo. Gatlu collapses. Surface there, but Vitopo gets out. The rocks fall. We're looking for the move. The forest on the top side. Curse is there. Flame sweep. Doesn't hit anybody, but does get a reposition. Fly out of the backside. Rome is gone. Vitopo trying to work through the rest of the team. 2 players down for Zeta Division. Mizutama waking up. They crash land, does Toast. Looking for a couple more. The rip is happening on Groudon. Mizutama the whole way. They're completely alone. No one is with them. Zeta Division is gonna take Groudon. Zeta Division is running to score. No betas for Zeta. They're looking to be alphas today.
103-228, 1 minute left on the clock. Komai is behind it. It all comes down to this. Zeta Division with the Groudon buffs and a beautiful fight. The fly on Toast just barely misses Vitopo, and because of that, the entire fight goes sideways. A beautiful rip there from Mizutama. 50 seconds left. Komai is going to need a miracle play to stay in this tournament as they are looking for this fight. Narami, Gotlu, Toast, Adesu, Gek, all positioned here. 40 seconds left. The solar beams fly. Multiple members of Zeta looking to score. 30 seconds left. Dupe Snacks
surfing in. We're trying to make a play. Quaquavel on the backside getting roam. Toast doesn't land on anybody. The defense between Resta and Nomu, they're anchoring it down. They're standing tall. They're peeling back. They'll give up that goal zone because they just counter-scored. A hundo burger. Back the other way. 10 seconds left.
10 seconds left. The defense, a huge Hydro Typhoon, but it looks to be too little too late as the clock is counting down. And Zeta Division fights on their Tier 2 goal zone. Zeta Division are your final Pokemon Unite World Champions! The comeback story. Zeta, second place last year, the bottom seed out of Japan, and now your final champion.
Japan, a region that loves this game, that supports this game, that invests all the time into this game. You want to talk about how strong a region is. Japan is without a doubt the strongest. Their 5th place team out of their whole region just crowned themselves world champion.
Amazing, amazing stuff. What a story for this squad. Being counted out by their region, and now here they are, the victors.
You can see the excitement, and well-earned, well-fought, well-deserved, and what a set of games.
Unbelievable for these two squads, both of them second place runners up. Zeta finally securing that victory, and we're going to take it down to the big stage with Zoinks for your winners interview. Take it away.
All right, congratulations again to your world champions, Zeta Division! Vitopo, you did it, the final Pokemon Unite World Champion. You do it on stage, you get a second chance after last year. How good does it feel to win on the world stage?
今回は2回目優勝を目指そうことになってたんだけど、で最後の最後の優勝になポケモンユナイトになるので印象を聞かせてもいいですか？
そうですね、今、切実にもうポケモンユナイトで WCS、最後の年だったということで、優勝できるのはすごい誇らしく思うし、長年やってきて、一歩届かずがずっと届いてたので、めちゃめちゃ嬉しいです。
So yeah, it's extra special to be able to do it on this final stage, and especially that first step didn't come through for us. We're just incredibly happy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're going to have to celebrate so much after this big win. But alongside this team of yours, this team of 5 looked incredible. How good does it feel to work together as a team and become the world champions?
やっぱり5人でチームワークを生かせて優勝できたんだけど、それについて聞いてもいいですか？
そうですね、秘訣としてはやっぱパッションでやっていかせてもらっているので、気持ちかなと思います。
It's incredible. Working together, we were able to achieve our goal, and we're just overjoyed.
All right, amazing. One final question. Anything to say to everyone who is supporting you here in America as well at home in Japan?
応援してきた方々に一言例えば日本の人への一言お願いします。
もういつも本当に励みになってます。応援ありがとうございました。
We're just so grateful for your support. Thank you so much.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Zeta Division! Analysts, take it away.
What an incredible grand final set to close out Unite at World 2026. I am so happy for Zeta Division, extremely well earned. Of course, we've got the rest of our casters here on the desk. You saw us all a little bit earlier in the pre-show, but Kella will be joining us this time as well. And hopefully we'll get to see everybody else pretty soon. But wow, what an amazing tournament, a great way to close out what I think many would consider the greatest Pokemon Unite tournament that we have ever seen. And Danley, of course, you got a chance to, we were kind of watching together, and I mean, how do you feel just in general about how both these teams played?
I put my money on Zeta Division. I knew coming into the grand finals that they looked so clean in yesterday's games. Like, there were times where they kind of faltered, but I think it was especially that semi-final matchup where that was where they solidified their position at Worlds, their form, that perfection, the lineup, their Pokemon that they played. Like, we see there are definitely Pokemon that they can play at that top level. And as soon as I saw that draft in Game 4, I thought that was it. This is the championship winning draft. They got it. It was clean. It was smooth. Zeta Division just impressed at the last Worlds for Unite.
That's right, and it does seem like, before I get to ask you any more questions, I do think we are going to have an announcement for something that's coming up very soon in Unite. So I'm very excited to see what that is because, to be honest, I don't think any of us have had a chance to see it. So let's check out something new. It is perfect that we stopped right before Kellosaurus, before we got to that video. Kello, we've got all the EVs!
All the evolutions! I'm so happy, and I can hear that the crowd is happy about that announcement as well. The fact that we have the complete set of evolutions now. Flareon and Jolteon are going to go and join Vaporeon. So that Generation 1 is complete. I'm so happy.
Genuinely, we didn't see this or know about it before this, to be honest. I didn't even know I was going to throw it, let's be honest. But that's a great way to surprise us. So that's very, very exciting. I mean, we were all kind of hoping eventually we were going to get everything, but what a great set of announcements. So if anything in there you're excited about?
I'm a big fan of evolutions as well, and I know everybody, much like myself and Kelly, are so excited about Jolteon and Flareon. Personally, Flareon, which one are you guys, from the two of them, most excited about?
Flareon.
Flareon
100%.
too?
Well,
2 out of 2?
I like the player Flareons, but Jolteon is actually my favorite evolution, so I'm really excited we finally got it. I mean, Sylveon might be close there, so I'm definitely a Jolteon enjoyer.
Okay.
I'm going to be excited about that one. But speaking of electric types as well, Toxtricity was an awesome choice. I mean, that's a Pokemon I really liked. Just lots of really cool picks within there. Actually, it was a lot of electric types. Now that I think about it, I haven't had time to. Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So I mean, all of those are very exciting. Can't wait to see how those play out. But I mean, wow, that was a little bit of a surprise. Definitely at the end of an amazing set. I mean, anybody have any final thoughts on those DLC announcements before we move on to the set?
You didn't say which one you were more excited
Yep.
for.
Oh, you can't make me choose. You
can't
cannot.
make-
No, I cannot.
Unless
Sorry.
it was
both.
Silver, then
I'm excited for both.
fair enough.
All right. Well, it's all for
All
Kello. If anybody out there knows
free.
Kello, it's definitely all. But okay, going back to it, of course. I mean, we've got to give so much love to Zeta Division. I mean, what an ending to an incredible story. And the story, I mean, is the entirety of Pokemon Unite at the World Championship Series. I mean, truly, the fact that we got a second chance for some of these players on Zeta Division who have been playing for such a long time, and then also a second chance, of course, to Komai, who did an amazing job. We have to give so much love to them. They played their hearts out on stage this entire weekend. They made it not an easy fight, right? They definitely didn't go down without a fight, didn't get swept, so it's great to be able to see that. But okay, I kind of asked you, Danielle, already your thoughts on some of this set, but any thoughts on these teams and their paths throughout this weekend, Kello?
I honestly, having interviewed Sari, their coach, a little bit earlier, I know that they must be feeling really proud of them right now. That just, not only this weekend, but it's this whole season. The fact that, they didn't exactly place the highest in terms of the Pokemon Japanese Championship in order to make it here, right? The fact that they have actually put in the work, put in the effort, it has clearly been demonstrated here. Just that hard work, and honestly, I'm feeling proud of them. I'm sure, as I said, everybody there supporting them is feeling proud of them, and I'm hoping they are feeling very proud of themselves.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's such an incredible showing, especially from Europe in general this year. And just to kind of actually step away from the arena for a moment, Soph, I want to ask you, of course, you had a chance to see Brazil, a region that you are very familiar with, place extremely well as well in this final thing. Well, you know what? Real quick, just a little bit of love to them.
A lot of love for all of the regions in Pokemon Unite, a lot of love for Japan, and shout out to the Japanese fans that are here in the arena today and everybody in the audience as well at home. And of course, I'm always going to be a crazy Brazil region fan, but that's about it for me for now.
All right, well, we've all got our thoughts in. Let's send it up to our champions, of course, on the stage to receive their awards.
The tenacity of these teams was terrifically tested across 4 full games. And now we must recognize our finalists in Pokemon Unite and crown our first champions of the 2026 Pokemon World Champions. Let's get into it. First up, we have our runner-up team, the Pride of Europe. But they can stride onto this stage with their heads held high. Give it up for Komai! Congratulations to Nirami! We have toast. It's Gatlu. And a Desu. And finally, Gek. Our next team not only pulled off back-to-back stage appearances, but can now add champions to their resume. Everybody, give it up for Zeta Division. First, it's Mizutama. got Nomo. Come on down, Rob. It's Resta. And finally, Vitopo. Everyone in the Chase Center, give it up one more time for your Pokemon Unite finalists. Pokemon Unite has been a wonderful addition to the tournament circuit. And we want to thank every one of you that has supported the world's journey, whether it is our devoted developers, staff, competitors, and all of you trainers in the arena. This may be the end of Pokemon Unite's tenure on the World Championship stage, but it is not the end of our journey. Our analysts are prepared to reminisce upon the wonderful memories we have created throughout these years.
Wonderful memories they have been indeed. These last 5 years has absolutely blown by, and that cannot go understated. From the fans to the players to the energy that is just brought to the broadcast, and passion exists throughout all of those categories. I think our mark has been undeniably left on the World Championship Series in one way or another. It is the 30th anniversary, and if Pokemon has taught me anything in the last 30 years, it's that a trainer's adventure never truly ends. And with that, Cowboy, take us into the sunset, brother.
Yeah, this is a huge moment for all of us. We love the Unite Championship Series and what we've been able to bring you. So just a final bit of gratitude from all of us here at Unite. Thank you so much for this. Thank you to the players for competing at the highest level and showing us what that looks like up on the big stage in front of thousands of people here in an arena with everything on the line. Thank you so much to my fellow casters who are amazing and care deeply about this game and making something that you enjoy. Thank you so much to our crew that puts up with us when they definitely probably shouldn't have. Thank you so much to Pokemon and TPCI for putting on this tournament right away. It really feels like Unite came at the perfect time for so many of us in this community, so it means a lot that they created this series for us. Thank you to our incredible producer, Will, who is an amazing leader and an even better person. And most importantly, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up live to events like this and cheering on these players. Thank you for every comment, for every like, for every time you shared it, stop to take a picture, or just reminisce about this game and this community. It means a lot. Thank you so much, everyone. I had the privilege of welcoming you to the Pokemon Unite Championship Series just a few short years ago, and now I have the honor of saying goodbye to all of you. So this has been the Pokemon Unite Championship Series. Goodbye. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pokemon Unite Championship Championship Series. Here we are. This is the final stretch.
Ready? Go! Blessing for Revenant Experts with an egg bomb! Are you kidding me? They get the Zapdos! You get the Zapdos! No way! There's another player for a score! Transfer to 100! I think they did it! They won! It's like Bang! Secure Black Hand is your world champion of Pokemon Unite! Oh, it went out! Are you kidding me? This could be our AOS Cup! No! Wins the AOS Cup! Ender tries to score, but points it away! 64 points for Team TV! Team TV wins and takes it! Wins and takes it! The best team in the world 2 years in a row! Keegan trying to line up another. That's a Penta! That's a Penta! Our champions! Yes, score! Whoa! It's a tie game! Losers win! Wow!
Wait, look at these builds! Yeah, go get a snort. They're going in for Skullcock. I don't know if this is too risky here, Donnelly. With 10 seconds to go, nouns have been cleared, and Luminosity, they have done it. They have broken through with a Skullcock.
They eye their way in. Breakaways as low. It's secured! It's secured! Peru Unite are your world champions! Peels back, here comes the slow beam! Slow beam on the Charizard! No, the Ice Age back the other way! And the legendary dog does it!
DUACL 2026ファイナルズアジアリーグチャンピオン戦ネレ勝利に向けて日本一に向けて必要な最後の画量転生を打ち破る本当に楽しいポケモンユナイトでした
Peru finally does it and becomes your world champions. And I assume they were going to go from that camera. Clearly, it is the other camera, but I'm not turning around.
Nobody deflates a moment like old Spraggles and Snacks. Holy smokes.
Of course, we have the stairs.
These ones. This is a solid angle. Yeah, creeping this way.
Yeehaw.
We're gonna slay.
Oh, we're so gonna slay.
Okay, delicious. About to find out.
Oh, man.
It's really good.
Is EU back potato? And then, you don't know? We'll take that as a yes!
Ownership, how you been? I am a Cramorant enthusiast, so that it does work. Enthusiast not capitalized, so it's not my title, it's just a description.
Zoinks now currently erasing his power rankings behind him. You can see how difficult this is for him, not only apparently physically, but also emotionally, for him to erase these power rankings.
I'll do it more in depth later.
The coin is here. Something exciting for you right now. We have an interview lined up.
Thank you so much, Desu from Nouns, everybody.
Chris, I think you're scared.
I think he's scared too.
Sometimes I just get scared at night, but it's just because I don't have a light on. Oh, hey.
So why don't you bring us home here?
Always glad to share the stage with you.
この大会を通してチームワークを深く学べたと思います。
Being able to play and perform in like the big moments when it really matters, it's definitely a special feeling.
Aprendí a hacer nuevos amigos y a confiar mucho en mis compañeros.
Well, if there's nothing else to be said, you and I are going to lock eyes right here as we send it back to the booth. Take it away.
Goodbye, everybody. A final yeehaw to you and yours.
We did it.
We did it!
Let's go!
What a wild ride. And again, to everyone who helped build the Pokemon Unite community and give it your all, thank you so much. While this may be the end of our Pokemon